want all of you fucking marks out there to always keep it kinky.
What's up, everybody?
You good?
Did everybody catch that?
Oh, I caught it.
Oh, yeah?
In 4K.
Yeah, caught it. Cool. What's up, everybody? This is Freebird Rules, episode 11. How you guys doing?
I am good.
We've been off for a while.
We'll be off
A lot
for
of
a while
stuff has
again.
happened.
Yeah, a whole lot of shit.
A lot of fuckery.
Oh, yeah. A lot of
Good,
fuckery.
bad, ugly, awesome, great, terrible. You know?
See, I know our audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they love it.
I know our audience.
They love it.
It's crazy.
What have you guys been up to the past 3 weeks? Anything fun to talk about?
WrestleMania. Con was in town for that.
Yeah, I was back in Virginia for that. That was fun.
Just been working, trying to save money for this trip we're about to take next weekend.
Where you going?
We're going to Ocean City, Maryland.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
one of my favorite places in the world. I basically grew up there.
Because it's your birthday.
Birthday next
Yeah.
weekend. Birthday.
How old are
April
you, like
28th.
22?
Oh, I wish. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, but no. I'll be 31.
Mm.
I don't know how that happened. But
You're over the hump now, brother. It's
I know.
all downhill from here.
Yeah, I'm like invested in the 30s now. It's not even like I'm just like kind of visiting, you know.
Yeah, I was about to say
I'm
31 was
here
actually a
now.
good year for me.
So what day is actually your birthday?
The 28th, Sunday. Next Sunday.
Okay, Sunday. So, all right, Sunday you're going to start having back pain.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just you're going to have it. You're going
Yeah.
to start making a lot of noise getting out of bed.
Oh, I do that already. I'm a big
well,
guy.
it's gonna get worse
do that
for you.
already. Yeah,
You're
I
going
do
to
that
start making noise getting into bed now that you're over
Ooh.
30. Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
That's what happens.
That's a new one. Yeah.
That's what happens.
Okay.
All right, boys, you want to talk some wrestling? Because we got a lot of
Let's
stuff
do
to
it.
talk about.
Let's get to it.
We got a lot of shit to talk about.
So,
Yeah, we got a lot.
we got a lot of WrestleMania talk to do because
Uh-huh.
I was there. So
You
we
were
were
there.
not live.
Oh yeah, talk about it. Talk
Yeah.
about it. Floor is yours.
So let's take a look at my time at WrestleMania real quick.
Ooh,
This is where he starts flexing on us.
Yeah, well, you know.
not at all. I was excited. I was living vicariously through.
Nah, dude. Me and Kyle were both like, dude, I'm living at like I just need Hambone to tell us more about what he's doing and what he's experiencing. 'Cause we're just like living through him right now.
Yeah,
I
man.
appreciate you guys
Mm-hmm.
having that attitude towards it.
Fire,
It's nice.
fire speeding.
Bro, we knew we couldn't go, bro. We knew we couldn't go, so we were just glad that we knew somebody who could.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, you know, like you said though, Con, someday, right? Because me, I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm never ever going. It's just not going to happen ever. But able to make it work this year, especially with it being in Philly. You know, it was only like a 4-hour drive from us, which really helped on the pocket.
That would have been so
Yeah.
convenient if I was still living in VA, man.
Yeah,
man.
'cause it's basically the same thing. It's like 4
A
hours.
3-hour
Right.
drive, 4-hour
Yeah.
drive, and ain't
Right,
shit.
right, yeah. But yeah, obviously, you know, I had to get the obligatory pointing at the sign photo
Mhm.
Not mad
up
at it.
top there.
Not mad. at it.
The first picture on the bottom, that was my seat for night one.
Mhm.
Night one, we were not in the nosebleeds, but we were pretty far up there.
It's a good seat though. You can see everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, even in nosebleeds, you'd still have a decent view.
Mhm.
I mean, where I was that day, we definitely had to do a lot of watching on the screen.
Yeah.
But it was still like you could still see stuff happening. You could still see
Yeah.
the stage and
Yeah.
the pyro and all that. So,
Mhm.
and then the second picture was the night two, much better view. We were down really just the first risers off of the floor.
Mm.
So we had, you know, a really good view there.
I can see the difference. I couldn't tell before,
Yeah.
but I can see it now.
Yeah.
How excited
yeah.
were you in that top photo?
Oh, so here's the thing. So, I mean, obviously, you know, we were excited to be there and we did so much stuff. But then night one gets there and it was a pain in the ass to get in the building, right?
Ooh,
Obviously, there's over 70,000 people there.
stressful, man.
But we finally get in, we get our seats, we're up there, and we're probably like, you know, we really overestimated how long it was going to take to get in the building. You know, we're thinking all these people, it's going to take forever. We were like 2 hours early, you know, on days. Okay. And there were a lot of people who were there even earlier than us.
Mm-hmm.
So we get up there and we're sitting there, and obviously, you know, we got 2 hours to kill. We're just, you know, my buddy and I are just sitting there talking. Yeah. And there's a point where I looked over at him and he had tears in his eyes, and so did I, because it was like really fucking emotional for us, because my buddy that I went with, he's my best friend, and our friendship started in high school because of wrestling.
Nice.
And this was always a dream of ours to do this together, and we never thought we were going to get the chance to do it, and we were finally there. So it was emotional for us, for sure.
No, I get it, bro.
In a good way.
I get that for sure.
I totally get that.
Yeah, I know, you know, probably some people think that's fucking corny, and that's fine. But for us, you know, this was the trip of a lifetime for us. This was a bucket list item. So to be able to cross it off was a big deal for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shit like that is why we were so excited for you.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Night one was cold as fuck, though.
I was about to ask you.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So cold. So my buddy's there. He's got a jacket on. He's got gloves. He's got a winter hat. He's got long johns on. I've got 2 jackets on. I've got a hood up. I've got a hat on. I've got gloves on. We were freezing. Like, it was already cold, you know, pretty cold in Philly as it was, but being up that high for night one, like the winds, boy, it was cold.
The legs didn't matter.
No, it did not matter. We got through it.
What was the temperature out there?
So here's the thing. First night when we were there, we were like, oh my God, it's so cold. And I'm looking at my phone and it says 50. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. I'm from New York, like 50 shorts weather up here. There's no fucking way.
Right.
50 really ain't
so
shit.
I don't know if, you know, my phone was fucked up or if it was just the fact that we were high. So, and the winds, you know, it wasn't the actual temperature, but it was like
wind chill.
Yeah, the wind chill. Yeah. That was making it really bad.
Yeah. Even like on a cold night, like when the wind's blowing, it don't matter how, like you said, because when I used to work at the cemetery out there, you know what I mean? I experienced like the summer out there, which was brutal, and then the winters were just as harsh. And we would layer up, they'd give us winter shit, and just something about like that fucking air, like when you go further up north, dog, it don't matter how layered up you are, that one fucking cuts through all that shit.
Yep. And I always say that up here too. There are days where, you know, in the winter, you know, if it's 15 degrees outside, I'll walk outside in a coat and I'll be fine if the wind ain't blowing. But once that wind starts blowing, boy, that's the worst part. That's what makes it so cold.
That wind is what's gonna beat your ass.
Yeah. Second night was better. It was still pretty cool, but it was probably, you know, a good 10 degrees warmer, and you know, we weren't up, you know, it just in the open air. So like there was some wind coming through, but not like we were up top.
60 is perfect. I'm not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So night one was much more bearable. Didn't have to wear gloves or anything like that. Just had
you gotta wear gloves, bro. It's cold as shit when you have to put the gloves on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, those were my seats. Like I said, had to get that obligatory photo there. Mm-hmm. So we did both nights of WrestleMania. Like I said, we did the first night we did SmackDown in the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Then we did NXT the afternoon of night one. We did Raw after, and then the day that we got there, we did WWE World, which was Thursday. Then we did the Undertaker one-man show that night.
How was it? Tell me how it was, bro.
Hold on. So then we did World again on Friday. We did WrestleCon on Sunday and World again on Monday. So it was just constant moving all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as the Undertaker one-man show, it was good. It was fun.
What's he doing?
So he's just basically up there telling like a lot of road stories. And then he does like a Q&A. And this time he did he did something that he called Dead Man Jeopardy, where he brought 3 people up from the crowd and they asked them questions, and there were different prizes for all of them. Most of it was autograph stuff, and then the person who came in first got to go backstage with the Undertaker and take a shot with him.
Nice.
That's cool.
I was very upset because I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm not putting my hand up. We're on the floor. We're so the Undertaker one-man show is at the Fillmore. And it's kind of like this iconic club kind of.
Yeah.
So they do a bunch of shows there. They have a stage, they have, up top, they have the balcony and all that where people can sit.
Right.
We're on the floor, we're only a couple rows back. And I was like, I'm not raising my hand for this. Like, I'm never going to I don't get picked for shit like this. Right. So I don't. So he pulls 3 people up there and they didn't know shit. And when it was over, I was like, I really wish that I had raised my hand because I knew the answer to every fucking question he asked. And I'd have been back there with the Undertaker because I missed my shot to meet Undertaker because it was $729 fucking dollars for the VIP. Yeah. So. But it was cool. It's kind of funny because we all know how WrestleMania ended. Undertaker was involved. He came out and attacked The Rock to help Cody win. But the whole time, so we're doing, we're at the show and he tells his road stories. We do a Q&A. He does the Jeopardy. And then he just starts asking the crowd, we start talking about WrestleMania. And he's going match by match, asking, what does everybody think about this? Here's who I think is going to win. All that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We get to Roman and Cody. And the whole time, all he does is shit talk Cody. And he's
really?
Yeah. And he's like, Roman's got that. He's going to beat the brakes off that boy. I don't give a fuck about the finish your story. Imagine trying to do that corny shit in the Attitude Era, all this shit, right? And I'm like, me and my buddy were like, wow, he's really like not into Cody. And then Sunday came and we were like, he worked us. He did that on purpose.
The shit out of you, right?
Yeah, he worked all of us in that fucking room, making us think, like he's really not down with Cody just to come out and fucking help him win.
That's fucking crazy.
So, yeah. The only thing that ruined, again, everything was awesome. The only thing that really ruined a couple of the things were at the Undertaker show. Like I said, it's a club. There you can get food there. There's a couple bars around. It's always drunk people that ruin shit like this for me.
Yeah.
And somehow I always get sat around them. My buddy and I were, we're in a row. We're on the very end. There's a bar right next to us. And there's a guy who looked like fucking Brian Pillman. Like, even the way he was dressed, he was like in fucking sweatpants and he had a leather vest on. He had the same hair. And like, he looked like Brian fucking Pillman.
Mm-hmm.
No shit.
And he's drunk as hell. And every sentence that the Undertaker is saying, like I said, he's right next to me at this point. He's just yelling, "Hell yeah!" Every fucking sentence the Undertaker would say, right? And it went on for way too long. They finally kicked him out, but it went on for way longer than it should have. And then
drunk people, bro.
Yeah. So then we go to SmackDown in the Hall of Fame. Couple rows ahead of us. There's a guy who's drunk. The entire time he's shouting out shit. And then the Hall of Fame comes and Heyman gives his speech. And after Heyman gave his speech, a lot of the people in the arena left. So it was about half empty, for all the
we were surprised that went first.
So, well, I mean, it made sense because obviously that's what people wanted to see, and it was late. Like we stayed for the entire Hall of Fame, and we didn't leave until 1:30 in the morning. So I think they knew that was going to happen. People don't really want to sit through Muhammad Ali when they're really just waiting to hear Paul Heyman. So I understand why they did it.
Damn,
but anyway, so what's that?
People just cleared out after him.
Yeah. A good amount of people did.
That's what we did. We turned it off after. I didn't care about none of that shit.
Honestly, when it was over,
we might have stuck around a little bit, maybe a little bit.
I think we kept it on TV, but we didn't really pay attention to it.
Nah, because it was after. Well, because I was like halfway paying attention to the Bull Nakano joint, but other than that, after a while, I was like, it was when what's his name started giving the sermon. I was like, yo, turn this shit off, bro.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that dude's going in.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
Yeah.
So it's funny though, because when we left, my buddy and I, we stayed for the whole thing because we were like, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? We'll stay. And obviously, the only interesting thing that happened was, you know, the back and forth between The Rock when he came out and Cody.
Oh,
But when we left, we were like, man, we really should have just left after Heyman. Like there was honestly nothing more to that league we really needed to stay for to see. The speeches were, I mean, it was other than Heyman, and I would say probably Bull Nakano too. It was, you know, kind of a lackluster class. Like I get why Triple H is putting in these people. I feel like Triple H is going out of his way to right some of the wrongs when it comes to the Hall of Fame. That's his plan. But for the most part, you know, these people were before their heydays were, you know, before my time and a lot of people's time who was there. So
before mine.
But anyway, so we're at the Hall of Fame. A couple rows down, there's a guy who's drunk. He's been yelling the entire show, right? So now everybody's going up and giving their speeches. I don't even remember who it was, but at some point he yelled something out. Actually, I think it was Heyman, and he yelled something out when it was dead quiet, and Heyman heard it, and he told him like to shut the fuck up or something, right? And the whole crowd laughed, right? So as he yells it out, he takes a drink. Heyman says, "Shut the fuck up," and the guy laughs, but he's got his mouth full of beer. And I literally saw it. He spray spit it all over the guys in front of him, his neck, all over it. I'm pretty, you know, I'll put up with a lot of shit. I mean, there was a point there where he wouldn't shut the fuck up, where I was like, I'm gonna throw my fucking bottle at this guy. He needs to shut the fuck up. But that guy, he didn't do anything. He felt it. I saw him reach back and go, like, what the fuck? If that was me, that would have been the last straw. I don't think I would have even thought about it. I would have just went up and there would have been a swing and that would have been it.
That would have been for
me. Yeah. But yeah, just like if you drink and you go out to the shit, like, relax.
Hold it, bro. Just fucking hold it.
Like, don't you know you're getting to that point? Like, fucking relax. You don't need to get like that. How do you not know you get like that and literally bother the fuck out of everybody else around you?
That's entitlement, bro. That's all it is.
Yeah,
you were just entitled to do that shit,
bro.
Yeah. So that was that. You know, the Undertaker show was fun. So then, before we went to the Undertaker show, we drove in. We got there, like, I would say around like 2 p.m. ish.
Sure.
You know, we go and drop our stuff off at the hotel, and then we go down to WWE World for the first day. Luckily, WWE World was walking distance from our hotel, so we didn't have to pay to get there or anything.
Nice.
For a little Uber or nothing.
Yeah. That's
so we go down there, and I have a VIP ticket to meet Bailey that day, right? Now, let me get this out of the way. Fanatics, if you're watching, fuck you. You suck. You are awful. It makes complete sense to me now why you have such a bad reputation when it comes to events, because you
Fanatics.
suck. It was awful. So, you know, they I think, I don't know if I told you guys. Did I tell you guys like all the bullshit they were pulling? Like,
you told us when you were trying to get meet and greets that they were fucking around.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. But yeah, refresh my memory. I don't remember that.
So they were doing stuff that was clearly money grabs in a way to screw people out of money. When they announced WWE World, you know, they announced WWE World like 2 months or so before WrestleMania started, right? But they didn't start announcing anything until about a month beforehand. And then they started saying, hey, we're going to start dropping VIP meet and greets. And you have to be able to even be allowed to buy a VIP meet and greet, you have to buy a general admission ticket to World. You have to have already bought a ticket to WWE World to even be allowed to maybe buy VIPs for VIP meet and greets, right? So first off, what's that?
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
I don't think it should. I mean, I think you know.
Well, I mean, was it?
Well, so wait. Hold on, though, Nick. I'll tell you why it doesn't make sense. We got to get to the end.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I still got to hear this.
So they do that, and then they don't announce any of the times for the VIP meet and greets. They don't announce times for nothing. They just say, hey, these things are going to be happening, right? So the days come, they announce, oh, we're going to be dropping VIP tickets at this time tomorrow. Be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they send out an email to the people who have the general admission tickets to say, hey, I'm going to take this photo down here because I'm just rambling at this point. So they say, hey, we're going to drop these tickets and you can buy them. And what they say is what's going to happen is you are going to, if you want VIP tickets, get in there. You're going to be put into a queue. You're going to be given a random number. And, whatever your number is, you're going to have that many people in front of you. Once they're on, you get in, you can buy your tickets, right? Okay. So the first day it happens, I get in there for CM Punk. That was the main one I wanted. It's one of my all-time favorites. Really wanted to meet him.
Same.
I sit in a queue. Yep, I got mine on too.
Yeah. Represent.
Well, so I get on there. I click on there, and I sit in a queue for 45 minutes and get let in, and they're all sold out.
Right.
They didn't say, oh, we only have a certain amount. You know what I mean? So this is why it's bullshit, Nick. You can get in there. The VIP that you want could be sold out. Now you really have no reason to go, but hey, you already bought GA tickets and they're non-refundable. So sucks to be you.
Yeah.
And that's why it's bullshit.
So you buy the world ticket and then
right.
You're really buying it to do the meet and greet. But okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
you might not get
bullshit.
it. And well.
And
hey, here's the other thing. It wasn't fucking cheap to get in. GA, $60 a day. $60 a day to go in there.
Whoa.
So say you bought 3 days knowing I want to meet these 3 people, and then you didn't get tickets to any of them. You just spent $180. And hey, do you even want to go? Right. So, and then the other thing is about it, you spend this money. And I mean, we figured out when we got there, you really only, if you're not doing meet and greets, you're really getting through the whole thing and seeing everything in a day. There's honestly no fucking reason to go to WWE World for more than a day unless you're getting meet and greets. There wasn't a ton of stuff to do. There was some stuff to see, but there's not really a lot to do,
Right.
So anyway, so here's more of how they fuck you over though. So like I said, I bought Bailey tickets for Thursday, right? That's the first day of it. And they don't release times for anything until the night before.
Oh.
Right?
But like how? Like in an email or something?
No. Well, no, you had to find it, Nick.
What?
They had, so that's one of the other things that sucked. All of this information that you were getting for WWE World were coming from different accounts. And they're not telling you what accounts. You had to find them. So some of the things were on WWE.com. Some of the things were coming from the WWE Twitter. Some of the things were coming from the Fanatics website that they made for World. Some of the things were coming from Fanatics official Twitter, not even having anything to do with World. Then there was an app that they made for WWE World for people to download to see all the events, and they didn't tell anybody. And guess where all the times were posted the day before? On that fucking app that nobody knew existed.
Yeah.
Because they never said, hey, here's an app, get on there because you're going to find your times.
Jesus Christ.
So they release it the day before. And I'm already like, all right, well, we're already planning. We're not leaving until, 10 o'clock and we're going to get there at 2. Fucking World opens at 10. What if she's at 10 o'clock?
Right.
So we get the times. Luckily, she's not at 10 o'clock, but she's at 7 p.m. And the Undertaker show starts at 8 p.m.
Jesus.
And hey, guess what? You don't get your VIP, you ain't getting your money back. Non-refundable. So yeah. So I'm pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna yell at somebody. You're not taking $200 from me if I don't get to meet her because I have to go to another show because you guys decided not to post the times beforehand. Like, there was clearly like all this shit they did was like. The more they did, it was more just like you're literally just screwing people out of money here. You're doing all of this on purpose. This is money grabbing tactics. So we got there for the first day of World. We got there, probably about 3:30ish. And I went up to the VIP stage. They had the stage that was just the VIP people. And I went up there and I went right to the front of the line and I sat there for 3 hours because I was not losing that money. I didn't do anything else in the place but sit on the floor for 3 hours so that I could be the first one, so I could get in there, get it, and get the fuck out so we could get to our other show and not lose the $200 we spent on tickets there.
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah. So there was that.
Goddamn,
So,
bro.
yeah, man, it was fun.
That was day one.
That was day one.
Day damn right,
So,
bro.
We ain't
here's
got
the
day two yet.
So yeah. So here's the cool thing about day one though. So we walk in and we're just kind of walking around for like that first half hour trying to on the app, you know, once I finally found it, there was a map on there, you know, that showed where everything was and all that, so you could figure it out. So we're just walking around, we're looking at everything just to see where everything is.
Mm-hmm.
And they had like a little part where you could walk through and they had a bunch of like gear from some of the wrestlers from like important events and stuff that were set up. You could walk through and see it all, right?
Sure.
So we're walking through and we're just walking and I look over and out of the corner of my eye, I see Johnny and Marissa.
Oh yeah.
And Johnny looks over at me and he sees me and we both just start walking towards each other with our arms out. Both like went for a hug. Didn't say hi, didn't say nothing.
Friends
Just
of the
we
show.
saw each other
Oh, yeah.
and it was get over here and give me a hug.
That's
Oh,
great,
yeah.
bro.
I got to meet a lot of my TikTok friends when we were there. You know, there's Johnny and Marissa there, XOJ up top. You know, XOJ and I, obviously, we've already met each other. We were able to go to All Out and everything together. And then over on the other side there, I met, you know, Jay Wrestling from TikTok and Johnny Goldsmith they're both from the UK. And they came over, they came over for WWE for WrestleMania, and you know, we had been friends on TikTok, so you know, we're just sitting there messaging each other like, you know, where are you gonna be, what time are you gonna be here, so that we could, you know, all meet up. So that was pretty cool.
I probably would have ran to Johnny if I saw him.
Oh, we did. That's exactly what happened. We just locked eyes and we went, okay.
Like damn, they were frolic. Shout out Johnny and Marissa.
Yeah.
Shouts out XOJ too.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I was first in line for Bailey. I was able to get it and get out and get to the Undertaker show. What I didn't know until I got there, for the VIPs, you know, they were $200 each. Every single person, they were $200 each. And I didn't realize that you also got a professional photo with them. So you got a professional photo, you got a signed item, and then you got a link so that you could get a digital copy of your photo as well.
Oh, that's cool.
So it was nice that you know, there was a professional photo where they printed it out and all that. I had to order a bunch of custom frames for them. The wrestling room is going to be getting rearranged very soon as I get these frames for these pictures.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But so Bailey was Thursday, and then Friday I had Becky Lynch tickets. So
Look at
me and Bailey, me and Becky. I trolled Becky a little bit with the Rhea Ripley shirt.
Oh, you did have great. That was great.
That was great.
So the thing that sucks about these VIPs is, again, they're a money grab, and they're really not letting you talk to them very, very much. You know, get up there, get your picture, get the fuck out, get moving, so we can keep moving. That's literally all it was. I mean, every interaction I had was 15 to 20 seconds, if that. I would say that Becky and Jay were the least talkative. With Becky, it was I think it was just because they said that she was sick. So what they did, all the VIPs, you know, they had the stage for the VIPs. Right next to that stage was another stage that they had set up where they were doing various shows and things like that. All the VIPs, before their VIP, they were doing panels. So they would go up there with, Sam Roberts or Wade Barrett or somebody, and they would do like a little Q&A question, talk about their match coming up, all that, and then they would just go right from there right over to the stage for their meet and greet, right? So when Becky came out, she was with Kathy Kelly, and Kathy Kelly had mentioned how she had a really bad cold and she had a fever and all that. And she, even when she was talking, you could tell she was sick. So I'm sure that had a big part of, her not being extremely talkative or anything. Bailey was very nice. I went up to her, and I don't know why I get this all the time, but I get from wrestlers all the time that they think they've met me before or they know me. I don't know why I get it all the time, but I do. And they
watch the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Of course. Of course, that's
I was going to say that,
rules,
but Nick
right?
to the punch. I was definitely
yeah, that's what I should have said. She asked if we had met before. I should have said, yeah, well, I'm on Freebird Rules. You've probably watched us.
You've watched us 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Every Sunday at 6.
So she asked if we had met, and I said no. And she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is the first time we've met. And she was like, oh, I don't know. You just have such a friendly, familiar face that I feel like we met before. And I went, oh, well, that was nice. Thanks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping, Becky just comes off as the type of person who she would be a smartass and say something about the fact that I was wearing a Rhea shirt, but she didn't. But again, she was sick, so
she's probably not paying attention.
Yeah. So then, Jay, Bianca, and LA Knight. Jay was real quick. He didn't really say much, but he wasn't like rude or anything like that. None of them were. Bianca was great too. She's much shorter in real life than I thought she was for some reason.
Yeah, she's taller.
Yeah, she complimented my glasses. I told her I liked her outfit. Con, let me ask you this. Look at Bianca's outfit, right?
Yeah.
Does it remind you of anything?
Nah.
Con, you remember Stevie Richards, right?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying now? You remember when he just, for a long time, he just wrestled in some Adidas wind pants that were blue and had white in the back?
Oh my god! Yeah, I forgot.
I saw those pants she was wearing, and all I could think of was fucking Stevie Richards.
Damn, bro, you unlock a memory. I smooth forgot about that. Shout out Stevie Richards.
But obviously, Bianca's doing a little bit better than Stevie Richards was. But yeah, she complimented my glasses. I said, hey, I like your outfit. It's very cool. And then LA Knight went up to him. He, when he first came up, everybody was kind of saying how he looked miserable, but he was very nice to the people in front of me. I went up to him. I had my, my LA Knight shirt on. By the way, all three of these were in the same day. So Jay was at 11:30. Bianca was at 1:30. LA Knight was at 3:00. So I got in one line, met him, got right back in, went to the other one. The entire day, that's all I did. I stood in the line to get these three, and then we left again. That was Monday. It was the last day. So, we were like, whatever, just get what we're getting, get the hell out of here.
Cool,
but yeah, I go up to LA. I've got the LA Knight shirt on, and he goes, God damn, I like that shirt. It's like, I don't think anybody else was wearing it. And then I told him, I don't even know if you get this reference or not, Con, but I told him he had the shoes of a champion.
Shoes of a champion.
Okay. All right. No, you didn't get it?
Shoes of a champion.
No? Okay. Well, Nick got it. I'm surprised you got it, Nick, but I'm glad you got it because I love that promo.
It was on Impact. Right?
No, it was on NWA.
NWA, excuse me.
Yeah.
So he was talking about his outfit, and he was saying,
well, hold on. Let preface this by saying that it was a Christmas episode. So he comes out for his interview, and he's just got a bottle of champagne that he's drinking from. Right? So he's a little in the bag already. Continue, Nick.
And then so he's drinking on it, and then he's just pointing out his outfit to the crowd, and he's like, "You see these shoes? Shoes of a champion." He turns around and goes, "See this jacket? Shoes of a champion." And everyone's like kind of laughing.
All right,
at him.
I remember that.
He's like, "Did I say shoes of a champion?"
So he's on with that news.
It's one of my favorite fucking promos.
That's so funny.
And it's just funny to me too because when he said it, he was like, "Did I just say that?" And he realized he fucked up, and he was just like, "Yeah, yep."
Going off the sauce, boy.
Great clip.
So I told him he had the shoes of a champion. I said, "Did anybody tell you that yet?" He was like, "Nope, you're the first person." But I like that you said that.
That's funny.
So everybody, like I said, you got a signed item from all of them. From all of them, it was a 8x10, except for Becky, who was giving out signed copies of her book. So
Nice.
that was cool.
Nice.
I'm actually going to, I'm going to read the book, and then I'm actually going to take the page that she signed. I'm going to cut it out, and it's going to go in a dual frame with the photo of us together. And
That's
then,
cool.
yeah. So
Shouts out to reading.
shouts out to reading.
Shouts out to reading.
I agree. Shouts out to reading.
Reading goes.
We got to join that Blackpool Combat Club book club.
There you go.
I got 2 books off the bat I could recommend to them.
There you go. Apparently, that's a real thing.
Should we start an Freebird Rules book club?
Yeah,
I almost slipped there, Con. Don't even. I know you caught me. I almost slipped there. I almost said the name of a former show that we may have been on.
5-star frog splash.
That was touche. That was good.
Kat can take my place in the book club because I don't read very much, but she'll run it. She'll run it for you guys.
Okay.
That's what she'll do. We'll have her run the book club.
I guess this guy just doesn't think reading is cool, Con.
I guess not. I was always under the impression. Well, I was always under the. I guess you could say the
belief.
Thank you, brain fart. That having fun isn't hard when you got a library card, bro.
No. I'll agree
It isn't
with that.
hard.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. But I mean, to each their own.
Yeah. I don't even know what other pictures I have on here, so let's take a look. Oh yeah. So I met Chad Gable and Otis as well. I've gone to these cricket meet and greets, before every couple weeks. I think they do like 2 a month usually, wherever there's a Raw or a SmackDown, since they have a partnership with cricket, they will send a superstar there for a meet and greet beforehand. So they did one here, and I went and met them. Both of them were so the other thing about WWE World, so you got the VIPs, so you had to pay for, but there were also 3 other stages. 2 of them were for autographs, and one of them was for pictures. And as long as you had bought a general admission ticket, you could meet whoever was there at the time, right?
Oh. Okay.
You could get a free autograph or you get a picture with them, whatever it was. So both Chad and Otis were at those. They just happened to be on separate days, and one of the days I wasn't going to be there. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just go to the cricket meet and greet. I'll just grab an Uber over there and do that. So I did that. They were both very, very nice. They both and there were a good amount of people there for them too. And they stayed past the time that they were supposed to, because by the time I got in there, it was already past when they were supposed to go. It was just funny though, because I've got this jacket on, and everybody's complimenting me on this jacket. My buddy was getting pissed off because every fucking 10 minutes somebody's coming up going, that's a fucking awesome jacket. Where'd you get that? He's like, I'm just gonna start asking you every day, where'd you get that jacket?
Oh, that's hate.
So I walked in, and Otis says, I like that jacket. And he asked me where I got it, and I said, well, I got it from Chalkline. I said, but it's on because they had it at WWE World, because they had the Superstore at WWE World.
Yeah. So
you could go into the Superstore. Anybody could go into the Superstore. You didn't even need to have a ticket to World. The Superstore was free.
That's cool.
So they had it there, and I was like, oh, they have it at the Superstore, but it's a lot more expensive there. And Otis goes, wait, you're telling me that something at the Superstore is expensive? And I was like, all right, well, at least they're fucking robbing us blind too.
He said, stop complaining and pay the money.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they were both nice. I like that you said that, Nick, about it's wild that I posted the picture after his heel turn, but I had to get all the VIPs out first. It just happened to take that
like a day or 2 after Raw, and I'm like, you can't do that now.
I know. I'm ruining his gimmick. I ruined his gimmick by saying he was a nice guy.
How he's such a nice guy. You fucking
I know,
up, man.
I know.
Crazy. That's crazy.
So this was the best interaction that I had at WWE World. I told you guys about it. So I did my VIPs. I was able to meet Sammy again too for free while he was doing his autograph. He was doing a free autograph, and I got the picture of us signed together.
Mm-hmm.
So Xavier Woods was doing one. I took this picture with Xavier Woods about 12 years ago at a TNA house show when he was Consequences Creed. And I have been holding on to this photo for that long, thinking, one day I'm going to meet him again and I'm going to have him sign this.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that he was going to be there. And it was going to be, a free one. And it was kind of like, it was actually on Monday. So it was in between. I went to Jay Uso first, and I was the first one in line for him. So I was able to get out of there, and I had like an hour and a half before Bianca started. And during that hour and a half was when Xavier was going to be there. That's the other thing that sucked about Fanatics. All of the meet and greets, no matter what it was, VIP, the autograph stages, the photo stages, doesn't matter what it was, 1 hour. There's thousands and thousands of people there, and everybody's going to be there. You get 1 hour to meet them. You don't get there? Well, you don't got it.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So Xavier was in the middle of that, but luckily, this was on Monday. So by Monday, there was like nobody there. Most people left. A lot of people were not staying for Raw. They left after Mania, and WWE World was pretty cleared out for the most part. There were still people there, but not nearly as much as all the other days.
Okay.
So since he was in the middle of those, I was like, all right, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try to get this signed. So I get over there, and what they were doing was he's going to be here for 1 hour or 150 people, whichever comes last. So they were literally sitting there counting people as they get in line. Once it got to 150, they cut off the line. And they started another line where they said, hey, if they get through them before an hour, we'll start to let other people in. Right? So I get over there. They've already got 150 people, and I get put in the wait line. Right. So there's like 5 people in front of me. So I'm like, fuck. But he comes out. And
I'm just grabbing something for the fridge real quick, but keep telling the story. I'm listening.
Yeah. So he comes out. He starts, signing autographs for everybody. He's moving pretty quick. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think I'm definitely going to get up there. Like he's doing like, 5-6 autographs a minute because they're just moving people. Right. So it gets to the point where they do let another like 10-20 people in, so I get to go in there. So I get up there, and like I said, they had 2 stages. They had 3 stages. 2 of them were for autographs only. You were not allowed to take pictures when you got up there. They even told you so there's a line, and then there was a ramp to walk up to the stage. Once you get on that ramp, you're not even allowed to take your phone out.
Oh, wow.
Don't take your phone out.
Okay. Yeah.
They were doing that for the VIPs too. Don't even take your phone out when you get up here. So he's autograph only, not supposed to be any pictures or anything. Mm-hmm. So I go up there and I get up there and I put the photo in front of him and I go, I have been waiting years to meet you again. So to get you to sign this. And he looks at it and he's like, oh my God, we are babies here. How long ago was this? And I'm like, I think it was, probably like 12, 13 years ago. I want to say like, 2011, 2012. Crazy, and, all of them, they come out and they've got like a handler, who works for WWE or whoever, Sure. So she's there and she's the one enforcing that, nobody can take out the phone and everything. And he looks over at her and he was like, I know we're not supposed to take photos, but I need to have this. Mm-hmm. So he pulls out his personal phone. And he's like, get the picture, hold it up. I want to get a picture of us holding the picture together. So I'm like, all right. So, he takes it. That's cool. And then he goes, well, take your phone out too. And I was like, oh, I get to get a picture. I thought we were supposed to get him. He's like, well, we need to recreate this. Mm-hmm. So he tells me to take my phone out and we recreate it.
Hell yeah.
12 years later, which was very cool.
That's cool as fuck.
So that's probably the best interaction I had. It was very cool to do something like that. I've said it before when talking about meet and greets. All any of the fans want is some kind of experience. Especially if you're paying. You know, you don't need to sit there and fucking break bread with them or anything, but you know, a couple sentences goes a long
You're not
way.
gonna forget that, bro.
Right. Yeah.
You're not gonna forget that.
Exactly. So that was
a story. I mean, that's a fucking story.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and again, like I didn't ask. There was something he wanted. You know what I mean? So that made it cooler that he was like, "No, we got to do this. I want this picture on my own personal phone to have." You know, that was cool. So,
cool.
And I think that Xavier just really appreciates longtime fans or fans who are fans of him outside of WWE. Because what I noticed standing there was that, you know, you could go up to him and you could have whatever you wanted signed. If you didn't have anything, they had mats. They would sign it for you. You would get that. But if you had an item, you could bring a Funko or an action figure or a belt or whatever. So I noticed that there were a couple people who came up and had him sign the up, up, down, down belt. And anybody who came up and had the up, up, down, down belt, he gave a hug to.
Nice.
So I feel like, you know, for people who are like longtime fans, like, you know, me and coming up with, you know, this old photo, or people coming up, you know, who spent money on something that he does outside.
People who are just fans of him.
Yeah. Yeah. He was going out of his way to really make an experience for him. So
that's a cool looking belt too, by the way. If I didn't have the Daniel Bryan one, I would totally have had that one.
Yeah.
And I probably will still get. I think they still sell it. I'm assuming.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so
now up, up, down, down is now a WWE owned thing. So they definitely sell replicas now.
I definitely want that belt at some point because that shit's fire.
Yeah. So what else? WrestleCon.
Goddamn.
So Sunday we go to WrestleCon. You know, WrestleCon, they do this every year. Wherever WrestleMania is, they do a convention, bring in, you know, all kinds of people, WWE people, you know, who are legends who don't work there anymore, AEW, indie people. There's all kinds of people. So we went to that on Sunday. There were a lot of people who were there who I had met before, and I wanted to get, you know, my pictures with them signed. It was, again, you know, a lot of waiting. I was there from the moment they opened at 10 a.m. to the moment they closed at 2 p.m. and I didn't get half of my shit signed.
Damn.
But I was able to meet Wardlow, Brian Keith, Mariah May, Mark Henry was there. Mark Henry wasn't even announced. I just showed up and he was there and I was like, oh shit, that's cool.
Yeah.
So met him up top there. You know, for people who have been watching NXT for a long time, that is Izzy, the Bayley super fan. You know, who was on TV, you know, when she was like 6. Yeah. Because she loved Bayley all the time. And she was there because she's a fucking wrestler now, and I'm old.
Which is crazy. I didn't realize that much time had passed, bro. I really didn't.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's only like 17, but still, like, that still makes me feel fucking old. Like, you know what I mean?
Like 11 years
that was 10 years ago. Like, she was on TV.
I saw her. She was for sure a kid.
Yeah, she was a child.
Yeah.
A child. And now she's out there wrestling.
That's
but she was so the thing about her too was she was extremely like kind of like Bayley's gimmick when she first started. She was like very bubbly and excited to be there and excited to talk to people. She was very nice, and I think that, you know, she's probably gonna make it big one day, and I hope that, you know, if she does, she keeps that energy that she was given that day. You know, I think she probably will, because I think that's why she does it in the first place. She knows how much it meant to her for Bayley to do that for her, and now that she's a wrestler, she's trying to do it herself. So yeah.
When you sent these photos to us, Hambone, did you notice that Jeff Hardy was in the back of the Wardlow one?
I did not. Yeah, they were right next to him.
If you poke out, it's like his head's like kind of right there. I don't even know if Hambone notices that. But
no, I didn't. The Hardys were one of the ones that I wanted. I had my photo with them. I wanted it signed, and I sat in line for them for an hour and a half. And it was at the very end of the day, and an hour and a half, I sat in line, and then they came and took them to do a pro photo op, and they were in there for like a half hour, and that's when I tapped out. I just went up to my buddy and said, I'm not waiting anymore. I am done physically. Right now, we need to go relax for a little while before we get to night 2. But yeah, everybody here was cool. Mariah May and Wardlow, surprisingly, were the nicest ones. Both of them talked to me about WrestleMania. I had my Cody shirt on, so they were both talking about that. Wardlow, I don't know why, but I expected him to be an asshole in real life.
He gives off asshole vibes. I mean,
he was the furthest fucking thing from it.
Really?
Yeah.
He is probably one of the nicest guys that I've met. He sat there and he talked to me for whatever reason. He was one of the first people I went up to. So it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. So for whatever reason, there weren't really a lot of people there to meet him. There wasn't anybody behind me. So I go up to him and we start talking, and he sat there and he talked to me for probably 20 minutes about.
No way.
Yeah, cool. About because he saw my Cody shirt, so we start talking WrestleMania, and they're friends, and he was like, it was really cool. I got to go to, so this is on Sunday, which means night one had already happened. Yeah. So he was like, I got to go to, a bar last night, and I just sat there and was able to watch WrestleMania just as a fan. Not like as a wrestler, and to see Cody have his match and everything, it was so cool. He's just gushing to me for like 20 minutes about how happy he was to be there and to be able to watch Mania as a fan and all that.
So he's a fan for real.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So honestly, he was the complete opposite of what I thought he was going to be.
He looks fucking toasted in this photo.
A little bit.
I don't know. He might have had a couple of, at 10 a.m. I don't know.
Y'all are passing it around up there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know if it was, just I got worked by his gimmick or something, but I thought he was going to be an asshole in real life, but he was the furthest thing from it.
Shit, you might have spun me a little bit on him.
Yeah. And like I said, Mariah May was extremely nice too. She talked to me for a while, talking about WrestleMania and Cody, and do I think it's going to happen? And I said, yeah. And she was, talking about, it could be 50-50. And I was like, yeah, I fucking know. I was like, I'm hoping it's not. No. Yeah. And she was like, I'm hoping so too. She was like, but I think he's going to pull it out. So she was very nice too. Brian Keith was fine. He just didn't talk very much, but he was nice. He was, happy to have somebody come up and meet him and all that. So Mark Henry, he was a little weird, right?
I was gonna ask, dude, because he kind of gives those vibes.
So
I was gonna wait for you to say something.
So like I see, we've seen so much of Mark Henry, right? Outside of the ring, and what kind of person he is. How like emotional he is, and he's always talking about Khan's got balloons. He's always, crying on TV or so. He always just comes off as a genuinely good, nice dude, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, Nick.
I don't know what that is, bro.
It's an iPhone thing.
Yeah. So I go up to his line. There's only a couple people in front of me, and in front of me is a mother with her kid, a very young kid. And she's, trying to get him to go up to Mark Henry and get a picture. And, Mark's still a big dude. So the kid is like scared of him. He's like intimidated by him. And Mark is like, he's trying to talk to him and say, hey, I'm a nice guy. Would it make you feel better if I gave you a hug? Will you give me a hug? So the kid comes over, he gives him a hug. They take their picture and then they go, So I go up to him and jokingly, I said, hey, if I'm intimidated by you, can you give me a hug too to make me feel better? And he got real weirded out by it. I was clearly joking, but he got thrown off like I was asking to have gay sex with him.
What did he do?
He was just like, oh no, not with you, not with someone like you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like he got real fucking weird about it. So I just got my shit and left. But I was not expecting that from him. I thought he'd get that I was joking. And he took it like I was hitting on him or something, but
yikes.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. What else do I got here? Oh yeah. Okay. So I think that's it. That's it. That's everything. All the pictures I have of my trip. Do you guys have any other questions? Did I not touch on anything?
Actually no, nothing to do with your trip, but okay. I guess a nice segue would be, what do we think of Mania as a whole? How do we feel about the matches?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me bring that up because we're going to talk about it anyway.
We are.
So let me get to it.
Mania.
Boom. There it is.
I was first of all, let me ask. I mean, I feel like I know the answer, but I'm asking anyway. Night 1, night 2, which one do we like better?
2.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
Yeah.
Easily 2.
Yeah.
2. Which is wild because the last like 3.
Let me ask him real quick because I didn't think that night 1 was bad. Like I really didn't.
Yeah. No.
But I saw a lot of people say go from night 1 wasn't better than night 2 to flat out night 1 was bad.
Mm-hmm.
If you were there for night 1, I guess what was the genuine vibe of night 1 from everybody aside from the fact that it was cold? First of all, did the weather affect how y'all enjoyed the show?
No. It was one of those things where we were like, we're cold as fuck, but like we realized like where we were and what was happening, and that just mattered way more than the fact that, hey, I'm going to be cold for a couple hours.
Gotcha.
And I feel like everybody else there felt the same. So I'm going to tell you the same thing. You guys had asked me, people were talking about how like the crowd was dead and all that, and you were like, what was it like in real life? Yeah. And I told you guys then, I'll tell you the same thing here. You can't tell on TV, but everybody was fucking hyped. Everybody was happy to be there. They were loud as fuck, but on TV, like these outdoor stadiums, it just doesn't come across. All the noise just goes up and out.
I remember,
and Kurt it just Angle, does not come across on TV.
I remember they asked Kurt Angle one time, like if he preferred wrestling in like stadiums like that or like arenas or some shit, and he was like, "Well, the only thing about these open arenas is like you just said, the sound goes up, so like you can't really tell what how the crowd's really feeling or reacting and shit like that." So I was thinking about that when I was watching it.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for us was like, so for our experience for 2 days, we have a whole group chat of like, there's probably like 15 of us in that group chat, but 5 of us were together in our friend's basement. And so we're just talking and making jokes and all sorts of other stuff. So we're not at least for me, I wasn't really listening or hearing crowd noise or even the commentators for the whole 2 nights. So when I was reading that it was like low or like bad, like it was a bad crowd on the internet, I couldn't really even have that experience of hearing whether or not it was bad or good or anything. And then I'm reading like, is the crowd like shit right now? Like what is happening? And that's what made me ask you, because I was like, well, he's there, he would fucking know.
Yeah, like, I disagree completely. Everybody was happy to be there. People were making noise. They were loud. They were into everything. There were definitely, matches that the crowd was less into, and you could tell. Sure. But for the most part, they were still very into, everything that was happening and just happy to be at WrestleMania. So
yeah, that's not fair, but.
I mean, we probably don't want to talk about every single match, right?
Go through everything.
But I do.
We can figure out which ones we want to touch on, I guess.
We go through the whole fucking card, bro. Then we might as well just like do the whole fucking episode about Mania.
I'm gonna just scroll through here and we'll decide what we want to talk about.
Just touch on it. I mean, this is pretty. I mean, I feel like I use predictable in a bad sense, but it wasn't. It was a really good match. It was just, but we knew Rhea was retaining. I mean, I was
just happy she retained, boy.
Yeah, me too. There was no sliver of me that really thought they would go with Becky. There was always just that, like, man, they could just go corporate and give it to Becky.
Right.
But like, I never really thought they would do that, especially with Triple H being at the helm now. Like,
we're all abused. An abused girlfriend. We spent so many years getting abused in this relationship, and we finally ended it, and now we're with a good man, but we just can't let go, and we still feel like he's gonna hurt us the way that the last one hurt us.
Trauma.
But I think Papa H, I think he sees the vision. You know what I'm saying? I think he's on our side. So
I couldn't picture beating her. I really couldn't picture her beating her.
What?
Becky
I said it on the podcast, so I couldn't picture Becky beating Rhea. I just couldn't see it.
Yeah. Great match though. I'm glad that they opened with it because it was a good match to get everybody, hyped up. Especially, So here's the other thing that was crazy to us about WrestleMania, right? Our first WrestleMania, and we were like, holy shit, we have by the end of our trip, we were like, we saw The Rock, the biggest star in the world, Dwayne Johnson, live about 4 times this weekend. Twice he wrestled. We saw John Cena come out. We fucking saw Lil Wayne and Snoop Dogg and Motionless in White all live and come out. And we're like, what the fuck? How did we fucking get here? Like this, we saw like Triple H and The Undertaker twice. And we're like, this is crazy. Not only did we get to WrestleMania, but like we're getting so much shit that I never would have expected we were going to see. I never thought, we're going to see the biggest star in the world wrestle live, or, Lil Wayne's just going to come out here randomly. Wasn't expecting that, but there he is. Fucking Wayne's right there. Like, so yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, it was cool. I bring that up to say it was cool that, to see Motionless in White live. And, we all know that they're Rhea's favorite band. So I could only imagine, watching, when she came out, and singing her song a little bit with them and then coming down. I could only imagine like how she felt at that moment. I'm at fucking WrestleMania. I'm doing my dream job. I'm the champion. I'm being played out by my favorite fucking band live. Like,
that's the best
just think about how that would make you feel. It's got to be crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, this was a good match. I really liked the finish too. I liked how Rhea did the riptide, but into the turnbuckle and then hit it again immediately. Because I'm not a huge fan of the riptide. Kind of an oak. It's just a meh move. Yeah, it's okay. It's a pump handle slam. Been around for like 30 years.
That's how I feel about the belly to belly.
Yeah. I mean, Bailey's finisher now is even worse than that. But I see what you're saying. That rose plant sucks. That's one of the worst finishes ever. But anyway. But yeah, this definitely got the crowd hyped. This match, fucking nuts.
Yeah, better than
Absolutely
I thought.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's really better than I thought.
It was a car crash.
So I did not fucking expect Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. They would have been on the very bottom. If you had asked me to rank all 6 of these teams, who's most likely to walk out the champions, they would have been on the bottom.
They were at the bottom for me too. Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy to see that. I loved DIY's DX tribute.
Yeah, that was alright.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. I'm glad that they split the titles too.
Yeah.
Glad that we got new belts. Thank God. I'm sure that we'll get another new pair tomorrow night.
I don't think they're going to look like the ones that they did on Raw, though, because that's kind of the Raw design, right? That's kind of the world heavyweight. That's not. Right. I don't think they're going to look the same.
I'm hoping they don't. I think Triple H will probably make different ones. But he did. Part of me says that, but then the other part of me goes, well, he did make the women's world title look exactly like the men's world title. So maybe they will. I don't know, but
I think it's going to look like the Undisputed. And the women's world, that one, it's gonna with the big W. I think it's gonna have that big W.
Sure,
unfortunately.
Sure. Well, I hope not, because I feel like they won't look like that, because I feel like Triple H is probably gonna phase those out too. I think Cody's gonna get a new belt at some point.
He's trying to get that winged eagle, ain't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm a big, like, in terms of just like the current WWE Undisputed belt, I'm not a big fan of that design.
I'm over that big ass W, bro.
It just looks very very Disney to me.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. What I've always thought was stupid when it comes to the belts. So I mean, recently, this WWE big WWE one and the stupid tag ones and all that. Every time that somebody, like a longtime fan, complains about how these belts look, they go, oh, well, they make them, for kids. Like, they're supposed to look like toys. And in my head, I went, I grew up with the Winged Eagle title. And as a kid, I fucking went and bought that replica.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a toy. It looked like a cool belt that my heroes...
You're trying to do it the opposite. In my opinion.
You're doing it the wrong way.
So a kid wants it. Like,
exactly.
They're
going to buy it anyway, just to be like, oh, I'm the WWE champion. Doesn't fucking even matter what it looks like. So make it look nice.
Tag team belts, bro. Like the old, the all red, all blue. That shit just looks childish as fuck.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't care.
It was fine. It was a fine match, but whatever.
There's nothing bad about it. Just it is what it was.
So
man,
This was my I was so disappointed with this match.
Yeah,
I
man.
thought that this was going to be match of the night, and it
This was
was
a
probably
filler
one of the
episode.
worst matches of the
It was a
two.
filler
night.
episode.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of this one too? Same thing.
So okay.
Oh boy, God's got some thoughts.
I was already. I'm gonna keep it a bean because I think I said this to Nick when we were watching it. I already kind of was not invested in this match because I wanted Gunther versus Jay.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's nothing like while Raw has done a good job in like pushing Jay to the main event status, there ain't shit Jimmy's done since he's been back that made me convinced even a little bit.
Like I said, this was a step back for Jay. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
And then
we said this while we were.
Yeah, I said this. I was saying this when we were like watching the pay-per-view, and then like I'm watching the match, and help me out, Ham, because I really just maybe I just never paid attention. Has Jay Uso's moveset always just been that limited?
Yes,
it's always been like that.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I when I think of the Usos and I think about their career, like they never did like a bunch of crazy chain wrestling or anything. It's a lot of punches, a lot of kicks, pretty basic moves. And it's always been that way.
That was definitely something that I just like that. If there was ever a match that just really just shed a light over that, it was that match. Because I just saw spears, super kick, splash. Like it was just like it felt like the spam moves over and over again. And I was just like, God damn, bro, like is this really all they got? And I remember I was talking to them about that. I was like, not the first time we've seen guys with movesets like that, like John Cena. You know what I mean? And at this point, I'm kind of Roman Reigns. But it's just like, I know for me, just seeing that for that long, it's going to get old fast for me. And it took me a minute to get on board with the main event Jey Uso train. It took me a minute. Finally there. After that match, I'm going to keep it a buck. Like, I still like him. But now I'm not so sure now. You know what I mean? Just because I'm just like, this just wasn't a good showcase, man.
You know why I think you probably think that, Con? Because you got to think about when the Usos were together, the last 5 years or so of their career as a tag team, they had so many amazing matches with other teams. Brody, and the one that stands out to me is Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. I mean, they had an amazing match with the Wyatt family at a pay-per-view. They had amazing matches with New Day. Yep. So we're thinking in terms of that, which, when they're wrestling other people, obviously, when they're wrestling I feel like Jimmy and Jay are good when they're wrestling other people because they both have a very similar limited moveset, but when they're wrestling somebody who is, more than likely better than them, they tend to lift them up a little bit, and I feel like we saw that for a very long time. Now we saw them against each other and went, holy shit, they're like the same person. Exactly. Like literally, even in the ring, they're the same fucking thing. They're when you're seeing the same thing from two people at the same time, it just didn't work.
I think
it just really didn't work.
I think what would have at least made this match palatable for me is if there was a stipulation at least.
Sure.
Yeah. I think Nick said like an I Quit match idea, which we've seen the Hardys do that at WrestleMania. I would have been cool with that.
Yeah.
I would have been cool with that.
A big thing too
something.
A big thing too that felt this for me was like it definitely made me take a step back from this was definitely a step back for Jay. It just felt out of place for Jay's story. I know overall bloodline story, it kind of makes sense to do this at some, but for Jay's story, kind of getting out of that story, it didn't really make sense. And also too, this match would not have happened if these two weren't brothers. Jimmy is below mid card at this point right now, and Jey Uso is main event Jey Uso.
That's what I was gonna say.
If brothers, this would not have happened.
I was gonna say the same thing, Nick. That's one of the things that made it feel so off. And this is no shade at Jimmy because this isn't his issue. He just comes in and does what he's told, Yeah. But he has been used so badly since they broke up and kind of just made to be the jobber of the bloodline. That's how this match felt. It felt like a main event guy having a match with a jobber, and they were equal somehow. It just did not make sense.
The comic relief at this point.
Yeah. Jimmy Jay is pulled so far away from and ahead of Jimmy that it just didn't work.
Yeah, bro. Like Jay, since breaking away from the bloodline, we've seen he did that tag team thing with Cody for a little bit. He had he's wrestled McIntyre. He's wrestled the best that Raw has to offer, and they pushed him. You know, they've really made that main event nickname mean something with Jay.
Yeah,
and like we just sat here and said, like we both just sat here and said, since Jimmy's been back, like very funny, but that's it.
Yeah.
And we still have no idea why he came back.
Exactly. We still don't have a fucking reason for why he came back.
Why he's a bad guy right now. We have no idea what happened.
Yeah. We still don't even know why he went back to the bloodline.
That's what I'm saying. Like
we got no answer.
And this is what confused me about this match is I remember talking to multiple people about this before they even announced the match, before we even started seeing Jimmy and Jay in the same storyline again. Before that, like as soon as Mania season started, I just kept hearing people saying we're probably going to get Jimmy and Jay at WrestleMania, and I would just be like, why? Like, because it's just what for, right? And not only that, more and more people were on board with it, and I'm just like, how? Why? Why? Like, I definitely didn't want to see that shit because, as I said, like, this is Jay right now, and this is fucking Jimmy. So I'm like, why the fuck would I want to see that? I just didn't get it.
And not only that, the other reason that it didn't make sense to me, and I'm like, why would they do this? Is not only that, but the at least 3-4 months or so, Jay had completely taken himself away from the bloodline. He had nothing to do with them or that storyline for at least 3 to 4 months before WrestleMania. So it didn't even make sense for just a couple weeks before that Jimmy's gonna start getting involved in his shit again for no fucking reason, and we're gonna have this match.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And they too also like looking ahead past this event, like now it's like even more so like it looks like they're kind of doing this bloodline civil war thing. I don't really know, but we're really early in on it. But like it really doesn't make sense to have this match before you're doing all that shit either, because it's like if Jimmy's getting picked on or jumped on by the current bloodline and he's going to leave soon, wouldn't he just gradually go to Jay's arms? But you just had a match with him 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So like, it's not, it's like, it's weird. Like if they kept Jay away from the bloodline, then it's really like, okay, they haven't really been talking
in a while.
Now it's like, oh, you guys had a bit of rivalry here just 2 weeks ago. Now you're going to
back together again.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I can see them making that make sense though, Nick, because so many people are always like, oh, well, you're family, so, you're always going to forgive or whatever.
On top of that, Jimmy saying, what did he say that he told Jay? What was that? Remember what he told him, Hambone? He was like, after the match, what the fuck did he say to him? Remember?
After this match?
Jay was doing an interview, and he might have said it to Jimmy too, but he was like, I think he told Jimmy something along the lines of, yo, whatever happens after this match, we can go back to being the Usos.
Oh yeah, that was a promo before.
So I'm assuming that they're gonna find a way to tie that in because I'm under the impression they're gonna get back together.
Right.
And I think that right there was the thing to tie that into that.
And that's where I was going with this. They can make the bitter rivalry make sense with them coming back together by saying, oh, well, we're brothers, we're gonna forgive. But so you're going to put them back together? Like you legitimately took Jay, who I did not think would get really over as a solo act. And you legitimately got him over to the point where he's one of the most popular singles acts on the roster right now. He could be, Intercontinental champion or pushed into that main event. And you're just going to throw him back in a tag team now? What the fuck was the point?
Yeah,
I wish he had a singles title at some point.
Yeah,
because it's like this is like in a month he's going to be the Usos are going to be a thing again, right?
Yeah,
so it's like you could have at least given him the IC title here for 3 weeks,
bro.
And even more so,
more of an IC champion. That's been sick.
Yeah, or even more so, like what's the point? What have the Usos not done? You're going to put them back together.
Why are we even doing that? Yeah,
and we've already seen this for years and years. They're multiple time champions. There's nothing more to do with these guys as a team at this point. Now that you've broken them up and you really have gotten Jay over as a single star, before this happened, like I could not see them not as a tag team. But now it's like, why are you going back to that? You put all this work into getting him over, and you're just getting rid of it.
They've broken records with the tag team titles. They main event of WrestleMania. They've done everything you can do in WWE as a tag team. So, like, you know, and I know we just like assuming, but like, goddamn, it feels like they're about to put them back together.
Yeah.
It's really looking like, I mean, it doesn't look like Roman's coming back anytime soon, which is kind of what we thought. But the kind of like the internet circulation is that we're getting like this bloodline civil war thing, which is like Solo, Tama, and maybe like Jacob versus like the Usos and Roman or something like that. I don't know if that's really true because like Roman's literally shooting a movie, and I don't think we see him for at least a while.
Not till SummerSlam.
Not till SummerSlam.
Right.
So I mean, unless they're working towards that, but even then, it's just like why? You know, like we can let this bloodline story kind of go, bro. Like we don't have to
because I like what I see so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking cool, but it's like you know, but it deteriorates all the work you've done with Jay. It's kind of where I'm at. You know, it's just like, you know, you kind of putting him right back with Jimmy is just not helping him.
Well, no, okay, yeah, that I agree with. Yeah. But I don't think it deteriorates. I think the only reason why I don't think it deteriorates it, well, never mind. No, let me take that back. I see what you're saying. Never mind.
Yeah, it's just because you did all this work and you didn't really give him anything for it. I got you. Because that's why I said, like, if you gave him the IC title within this time frame,
at least you got something out of that Solo run.
That's what I'm saying. So, but they haven't. He was a tag team title. He was a tag team champion with Cody
for a week.
For like a week. That was it. So it's like that's all you did with main event Jey Uso, and then you put him back with his brother. Like you could have done something else, man. You could have you could have done anything with him.
And the other thing is too, like I'm interested in the idea of a bloodline civil war storyline, but I gotta be honest, not really with Solo as the leader.
Yeah, fuck no.
Like I'm fucking supposed to think that Solo's the leader now. Like the way that they present Solo is so weird to me.
It was tough the other day, though. I'm not gonna lie.
It was tough, but like Han said, bro, like I'm with that, but like Hambone said, this motherfucker's 0-34.
He is very 0-34.
Yeah, so he comes out and says there's consequences to losing, and he's lost 34 times in a row. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
The biggest loser in the squad.
Yeah.
Didn't that apply to you?
Yeah, I was laughing at that one. I was laughing my ass off at that.
Wild.
You have a nerve. You have some fucking nerve.
Yeah. It's wild the way that they present him like he is the best and baddest fucking person that's in the bloodline. It's crazy. He's the smallest dude with the worst record.
That's some fucking gumption right there. That's some gumption.
That was a good word. I like that.
That's a SAT word.
I mean, fine match, whatever.
It was very cool.
You know, we got to see Jade in WrestleMania, so I mean, I don't have a complaint, but it was a cool match.
All these women are options for March Madrip next year.
Oh, dude.
From this,
Absolutely,
they all went in.
I would say that this match and the Usos are the two that the crowd was the least into, because
really.
Yeah, so I mean, this one, like, they're just, I just don't feel like there was enough story here for people to really, really be into it. And then Jay
debut. That's really what it was.
Yeah. And then I really feel like the whole crowd felt the same way about Jay and Jimmy. It was just disappointing, and everybody saw that, you know, this is not a good match. So, you know, like I said, the crowd was into everything. They were cheering for everything, but these were the two matches that people were, you know, the least.
They had that shit on though. They had that shit on.
They sure did. Match of the two nights right here.
Yeah.
The crowd, like, again, you know, like we just said, I was a big believer that this should have been Jay. It should have been Jay and Gunther. Jay should have beat him and been the one to end Gunther's thing. So I wasn't happy about this, but I knew it'd be a great match because I'm a fan of both of these men, right?
Yeah.
But goddamn, that match, the entire crowd was just hot for this match the entire time. We were all emotionally invested with it. You know, when Sammy won, I mean, we all just exploded to our feet. Him pulling out the brain buster too, that old El Generico shit at the end. That shit was crazy, especially for a big ass motherfucker like Gunther, man. That was nuts.
See, the thing I like about Sami Zayn that he's always been really good at is, at least for me, first, like he just knows how to bring that emotion out of you, and he's really good at just getting you to just get behind him. But when you watch his wrestling matches, it almost feels like you're watching like a football, like a high stakes football game, or a high stakes soccer game, or a high stakes basketball game. That's just what it feels like when you watch his matches. And yeah, I was right. I'm with you. I was under the impression. Well, I ain't gonna say under the impression, but I wanted Jay versus Gunther because I just felt like this was the perfect time to fucking just give Jay that moment.
Yep.
And we didn't get it. And then I saw a lot of people saying that it should be Chad Gable. I'm in the minority. Well, I don't know minority, but I'm definitely in the demographic of people that just don't understand. I couldn't picture Gunther. I couldn't. Chad Gable, although loving his work right now, just I couldn't picture him being Gunther. And it was kind of nuts that people just thought that was just like Sami Zayn was just an asinine alternative. I do get the disappointment, but like, I totally took this because I knew what Sami could do, and I knew he was going to win, and I knew he would cook. And again, wish it was Jay, but like, I'm not mad at Sami being the one to finally beat Gunther. I'm not mad at that at all. But yeah, I love this match. This was probably, I think thinking about it, because I never really thought about what my favorite match was, but I think when I do think about it, this was probably, like you said, match of both nights for me too, because they cooked, and I knew they were going to cook.
No, I was definitely out of the Gable for IC. I didn't understand.
I wasn't buying into that shit.
Like, you would have had to like really build Gable up for like a month and a half before doing anything.
The way they're building him up right now, if they had built the way they're building him up right now without the heel turn, if they did that leading up to that, I would have been on board. But he was still kind of just goofy ass Gable to me.
Yeah.
Well, so you know what the thing about that is though, Con? I'm fine with the goofy ass Gable. You know why?
Tell me why.
So a lot of people compare Gable to Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And the reason that Kurt Angle is one of my all-time favorites is because he was fucking amazing in the ring, but he was entertaining as shit too. He could be a goofball in the back 1 minute, and then the next minute he was dangerous and could beat your ass, and you fucking believed it both ways. And I see a lot of that in Chad too. He's great in the ring, and he's got that entertainment in him. He can be funny, but I mean, he's a legit Olympian. He could fuck you up if he wanted to. And I think he has that intangible thing that Kurt had that a lot of people don't have. He can do both at the same time.
I agree with you. I think what we saw him do on Monday, I haven't seen him tap into that yet. And I think I needed to just see that. Like I think we all knew that he had that, right? Like I think we all knew
We just need to see the aggressive side more.
Physically see it.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I finally got that. So like I wish I would have saw. Again, it wouldn't have had to been a heel turn, but if I just saw a little more aggressive version of Chad Gable, I think I would have been on board with him going against Gunther.
Right. I think, again, everybody has been asking for Chad Gable to get a push for a long time. Yeah. It's crazy to me that Chad Gable somehow dug himself out of the hole of Shorty G.
Yeah, I'm surprised he survived that.
I think he's going. Yeah, I think he's going to get that push now because again, I think Papa H sees the vision with Gable, and I think he's going to give us what we want with him now. So
I think I can't speak to the Kurt Angle thing. I can understand seeing those qualities in Chad Gable. I just think that who he was building up to this match, it was a comedy act. I mean, like the whole Alpha Academy thing just felt more like the comic relief of WWE at the time. Mm-hmm. Now that Gable's kind of moved on from it, like training Sami and doing all that, like that build up for that, like if that had started like literally a month beforehand, I could easily see Chad Gable going against and winning that shit. Sure. But it was still just goofy Chad at that point.
Yeah.
Where people were calling for Gunther's head for Chad Gable, and it was just like,
right.
Oh, there's got to be something else going on, and I can see all those qualities, like you guys said, but at that time,
like Khan said, you need to actually see it. We haven't seen that a lot from him, right? Sure.
I don't know what that looks like, but I knew he had it in him. I didn't know what that looked like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah, this was a ride, boy.
Yeah. So,
I'm
gonna be honest. This match could have been probably 10 minutes less than it was, though. It went on for very long.
Everything The Rock does takes 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why, bro.
I think that first 10 minutes of them like fighting out in the crowd really didn't need that.
Yeah.
It's really funny too because my whole thing when Rock first came back was like he looked kind of winded. So I was like, is he gonna be able to fucking hold his own when he's doing this stuff? Because I'm just looking at it from like one or two promos, but like he looked kind of winded. And then like everything he's done since he's been here has been 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
It felt like. And so it's like, okay, I was fucking wrong. He takes too damn long now. So
sure.
He needs to back. He needs to.
But also, when you saw him win, it also might have been, like ring rust because he'd been gone for a hot minute.
Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So that's very true. Yeah.
But outside of how long it took, the match, it was a good match. It did pretty much go the way that everybody expected it to.
Yeah.
The Rock, badass fucking entrance for this.
That shit was
coming out with the Brahma Bull and fire and shit. Oh my god, the whole final boss thing is really taken off for him. Like from the music, the evolution of his music to that entrance was crazy. Crazy.
Do you guys like him carrying that title around?
I'm good on it.
I'm not big on titles that aren't recognized.
Me neither.
I don't really want to see the FTW title because it's not a real title. Yeah. I don't want to see it defended because it's not a real title. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
So that's, for the most part, that's usually how I feel. But I do like him carrying it around now because I feel like this adds to his current gimmick.
That's where I'm at. It's like I feel like it fuels this arrogance that he has. That like this final boss character, it just is just pure arrogance,
right? And
like pure like I'm the fucking guy,
right?
To the point where Muhammad Ali's fucking wife gave me this title, and I'm gonna fucking walk
right.
in. So like that. That's where like that whole story of it and like who he is right now is like. That's kind of fire. Like, because I'm with you guys. Like the FTW or like anybody really holding their own title is just kind of like, what are we doing? Like, what? Like this isn't. But like Rock final boss. I got this from Muhammad Ali shit. Like that's some arrogant fucking shit. And so like when he comes back, whenever he does come back, I definitely want to see that title around his fucking shoulder because that shit would be hilarious.
I feel like that's the way. That's the only reason that it works is because of that. What you just said, Nick. Because the reason that the other ones bother us, I feel like, is because whoever is usually holding them is treating them and defending them as if they are a real title. The Rock's not defending this.
He's not doing.
He's just saying. Yeah. Fucking Muhammad Ali's wife gave this to me because I'm so fucking good. So I'm carrying this around, and you're gonna see it
because I'm the
man. That's why it works.
That's all it is. Yeah. It's not something he's defending or anything. So it's just like it's just a piece of a piece of clothing.
Right.
At that point, it's literally just a belt.
It's just a flex for him.
Yeah. It's just
that's all it is.
Yeah.
A big flex. Yeah. A massive flex.
Massive flex. So like that's why I like it when he's doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, it ended the way that we thought it would. This is the other match that fans just didn't care about.
Really?
And one of the other reasons I think they didn't care is it was pretty clear. I feel like nobody cared about it, even the people who were in the back, because this match was so quick and way shorter than any Philadelphia street fight between six people should have been.
I remember, when we were watching it, I was doing something. Because I kind of expected it to be like, like a decent lengthy match. You know what I mean? Like nothing crazy. But I remember I was doing something. I shit you not. I might have looked down, and when I looked back up, the match was already over.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would say this match was like, what, 8 to 10 minutes, maybe? For a WrestleMania match, that is extremely short.
Yeah.
I'm about to look it up now.
Very quick.
But the other thing was, too, when it comes to like a street fight, or a stipulation match like that, as fans, what we want to see is we want to see one of two things. We either want to see extreme violence that we don't usually see in a normal match, or we want to see a lot of cool spots. And this was a street fight that had neither of those things.
Go crazy.
It was 8 minutes. 8 minutes, 35 seconds.
That's short for a TV match, much less a WrestleMania match. And it didn't have what people wanted. It didn't have a great story behind it. I mean, we still don't really know why Final Testament has this issue with, the Prophets and Lashley. So it wasn't personal. It didn't feel personal. And then you got a gimmick match that didn't give us what we want in a gimmick match.
Yeah.
So yeah, the crowd was not into this one.
It was
I
second only to the
could've
Jade
done without
Cargill
this one.
match.
You said
Yeah.
what?
It was second in length, like in the shortest length, only to the Jade Cargill match.
Yeah, I could have did without this one, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. On paper, it looked cool, but once you saw it, I was just like,
Yeah. And again, not these guys' fault either. This is just the way that the story has been presented, and it just wasn't a priority on TV. It seemed like, and, it is what it is.
I definitely want better for the Street Profits.
Yeah.
This shit was crazy.
I'm gonna be honest. Because we've been talked about how we all feel about, well, at least how I feel about Seth Rollins. There's just a disconnect with me and him. So like, I was just kind of like, when this match was announced, I was like, just give Drew the belt, keep it moving, right? I ended up really enjoying the fuck out of this match.
Yeah.
Everything from start to finish. Great fucking match, bro.
I'm gonna say this. People can feel however they want to feel about it. Seth Rollins was the MVP of WrestleMania 40 both nights.
I agree.
Overall, he was the MVP of WrestleMania 40. He made so many storylines
connect and go and
work the way that they needed to work. He was the glue for all of this shit.
Yeah.
I gotta give him his props.
Yeah.
I gotta give him his props. I enjoyed everything about this match.
Yep. Especially the ending.
God, dude.
Let me tell you.
We were going crazy.
The fucking place exploded when Damien's music hit. It was crazy how loud it was. When his music hit, and then obviously the very short match, and then him winning, it was probably, there were only 2 times. Cody and Roman on night 2 was one of them, and then this was the other one where it was so loud that I could hear nothing. All I could hear was crowd. I couldn't hear music playing. I couldn't hear anything but just crowd yelling.
That's insane.
Cody winning and Damian Priest cashing in.
Yeah, bro. And what was like, I'm pretty sure like we kind of had an idea that was what was going to go down.
Oh yeah, we definitely talked about it.
It didn't even matter, bro. We were all still like, holy fucking shit.
Yeah, but I love the storytelling too with Drew and Punk. Like Drew finally got his moment, and then he just couldn't let this shit go with Punk, and he fucking screwed himself over and lost it. All he had to do was leave.
Yeah, all he had to do was
leave, bro. You won.
Yep,
you won. All you had to do was dip.
Punk didn't do shit to him the entire match, but he just had to get in his face.
Left him alone, and then he just had to fuck with him, bro.
Yep.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, that was nice.
This match was fine.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, LA Knight won as he should have, but this was a match that didn't have a lot of meaning behind it. LA Knight should have been in a different position on WrestleMania, not wrestling a cold AJ Styles for really no reason.
With new music.
Yeah. New music that is not as good as his old music.
I actually prefer the newer one because I didn't like it.
What? What?
Didn't like it. Never liked it.
Wow. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that. I genuinely believe that AJ Styles' old theme song is one of the best theme songs WWE has ever produced, and especially in the past 10 years.
Oof, that hit the ears weird. Yeah, bro, I hate that song.
Wow.
Okay. I hate that song.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of the new one, to be honest. I wasn't really too keen on the old one either. So
wow, never heard people say that before. Usually there's a lot
of
love for AJ's.
It was like Madden video game music, bro. Like it's not like I'm like it's just that. Like that's all it is.
Very cheesy to me.
Yeah,
cheesy.
Very EA Sports, bro.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
We knew what this was, but I still enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 3 guys who are really good, and it's hard to not have a good match.
Yeah.
We all pretty much expected Logan to win. He did. Whatever. But again, should have been Logan and LA Knight, and LA Knight should have beat him.
Yeah. Would love if
we are where we are.
And KO to become a tag team. I would have absolutely loved that. I hope.
I absolutely loved. I loved KO coming out on the 4-wheeler and then backing up all the way up the ramp to give Randy a ride to the ring when he came out.
Yeah,
that was hilarious. It's so funny.
Like
They're very funny together.
I like them together, bro.
Yeah.
I hope they keep it going. I hope they keep something going with them because I think Nick said it too. I would love to see KO and Randy Orton as a tag team because they just work very well together.
Yeah, they're very, very entertaining together.
Yeah,
I agree. Great fucking match, bro.
Great match.
Not even on no bullshit. Like, I knew it was going to be a good match.
Yep.
I think I was just so ready to just get to Cody and Roman that every other match was just like, keep it a bean. I was just like, look, I don't want to say I don't care about every other match, but I'm just ready to see Cody versus Roman.
Sure.
This match, goddamn, definitely exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. Great match. The entire crowd was behind Bayley. Everybody wanted her to get her moment. Obviously she finally did. Very loud for her. So that was cool to see. Cool to see her finally get her moment. Yeah. Good match. Great match. And then this.
Talk about it. As a fan who was there, talk about it.
Oh my God. So I think you guys have probably seen it too. Roman has a lot of supporters, like extreme supporters. You know what I mean? So they were definitely there and they were loud, but they were not louder than the amount of people who wanted Cody to win.
Cry babies.
Yeah. Everybody was behind everything that was happening in this. They had the crowd in the palm of their hand the entire time. And like I said, when Cody won, I could not hear anything. It was just like, it was so loud that there was just, I couldn't hear anything.
Talk about the surprise appearances.
Oh yeah. So, I told my story about the Undertaker earlier, and then, the Undertaker comes out. So he obviously worked us at the show.
That's still very funny.
Yeah. But the funny part about that is too, so, the lights go out, Taker, does his thing. And then from where we were standing, from where we were sitting, right across from us was the ring in the middle. And then the stage was behind that. But right where we were sitting, there was an exit right there. So as soon as Undertaker was done, just a bunch of security came around him, and he just like old man ran all the way through the crowd. All the way to the exit. It was so funny.
That video was funny as hell. Bro.
Yeah. So we're just sitting there watching. I was like, look at Taker. He's just like old man jogging to get out of there, not, getting out like scary Undertaker usually would or anything.
Yeah, dog, that shit was hilarious. Just the old man shuffling out the arena.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the surprise appearances, him and Cena, again, it was so loud for both of them when their music went off, especially Cena. Cena's pop was loud.
I didn't expect to see Taker. I actually expected to see Austin, but like I'll take Taker.
Well, so here's the thing about that. I don't know if you guys saw it, but Stone Cold has come out and said that they did approach him about being there, but they couldn't come to terms on money. And it's like, bro, how much money do you need? You'd have been out there for 2 minutes. You couldn't make that happen for us. You couldn't go out there and give The Rock, your greatest rival of all time, a stunner to get that pop from the crowd for, $50K. You know what I'm saying?
It made sense.
Like, come on, bro. Like I've always loved Stone Cold, but that kind of turned me off a little bit. Like, come on, man. You couldn't come to terms on money. Bro, come on. But Undertaker was a good alternative because he makes sense too, I mean, he has wrestled every generation of the Samoan dynasty. He's had, long feuds with a lot of them, including Yokozuna, including The Rock. And then Roman's the only other person other than Brock Lesnar to beat him at WrestleMania. And then Roman came out the next night and basically completely disrespected him by saying, "This is my yard now." So it made complete sense for The Undertaker to come out and be like, "Yep, I'm going to screw you over now."
Yeah. When Seth Rollins came out to the Shield music, let me ask you, Ham. Let me ask you. At any point, did you think that Mox was going to be out there with him?
No. No,
Okay.
not even.
I'm not gonna bullshit, bro. I'm not gonna bullshit. Like it was like I was actually surprised how many people felt this way too, because I thought for a minute we were in the minority. Logically, he's not fucking showing up.
Yeah.
We know that. Right? But for a split second when that music hit, because I wasn't expecting that.
Sure.
Because he did this before, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking he's not gonna do that again, right? So when I heard it this time, my brain said he would only do this again if there was a bigger reaction coming with that, right? So for a split second, I'm like, oh shit, Mox might pop up.
Right.
But like, you were there, right? So you saw the whole him getting in there and then getting his shit rocked, right? At home on the TV screen, we barely saw him, bro.
We barely saw anything.
We just saw him rocked and then he's on the floor.
No, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. We saw the same thing. That, I looked over at my buddy and he was like, holy shit. Like he came in, he got immediately taken out and he's gone. But afterwards, like it was the right thing to do. Like it made complete sense.
Yeah.
Seth was fucked up. He had two nights of matches. He had lost both of them. And weeks before that, he told Cody, I'm going to be your shield. And that's what he did. He didn't come out to fight. He didn't come out to do damage to Roman. He came out to keep Roman from doing damage to Cody, to be his shield. And that's exactly what he did. Because he knew
tear in his hand and he's trying to decide whether to hit Cody. And it was like he knew that if he hit Seth, Cody was gonna recover. That was and it took a minute to register, but it was like, holy shit. Like all he had to do was just hit Cody. But obviously considering his history with Seth, he in his mind in that moment felt like I gotta get him. And it cost him. That was fucking crazy.
It was great storytelling. It was great storytelling. Seth saying he was going to be Cody's shield. He came out to the shield music knowing that it would distract Roman. He did exactly that. He didn't do any damage. He was just Cody's shield. And to have Roman have that moment where he could have hit Cody. He could have hit Cody and won. But he is still harboring such bad feelings towards Seth for that turn 10 years ago. That it cost him everything.
Now let me ask you.
He hit him instead and cost himself the title.
Let me ask you. So, I mean, you being there. First of all, did y'all expect that to happen? Did y'all expect him to come out to the Shield music at all?
No. I wasn't thinking that was going to happen.
What was the crowd reaction when they heard the music? Because again,
it was exactly what you said.
Yeah,
I mean,
I was so caught off guard.
Yeah, and it was. Everybody was caught off guard, but in a good way, because we all went, "Oh shit, okay, we see what he's doing." We weren't expecting that, but that's a good surprise. That's a good way to distract him. Yeah, so it was definitely a loud reaction for it because everybody wasn't expecting it, but then immediately got it and went, "Oh, that's good."
That shit was.
I swear, for whatever reason, all logic went out of our basement when we heard that fucking Shield music because we all looked at each other and was like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, there's no fucking way. And then we see like a split second of Seth's fucking blonde hair get smacked.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it was Seth.
That's all we saw, bro. He got his shit rocked, boy.
We literally we literally sat there for like maybe 4 seconds, like, it's fucking Jon Moxley. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, no. And they were like, well, we're dumb. We shouldn't even thought of it. Like, that really wasn't gonna happen. I mean, come on. But like, there was a lot of people online that was like, oh, we thought it was John. Like, oh shit. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it made me feel better.
It's not even like about like it's one of those things where it's a great example of how good the storytelling was here because everybody was so emotionally invested in this that, like you said, there's a large segment of people that music hit. And even though their logical brain's saying there's no way he's here, you're so caught up in the emotion and shit. That holy shit, what if he's here? What if he is here?
Yeah.
I thought that was after him and Seth,
right?
What's that?
That Shield music hit after Taker, right? Or was that before?
Yes, because that was the ending of the match.
Okay.
He hit him with the chair, and then Cody recovered and hit him.
Cena, you've already brought out Undertaker. Who else? You could just bring out Moxley right the fuck now and just turn the work.
Well, see, I thought it was going to be Seth and Mox. I thought it was going to be the both of them popping up.
Oh, that would have been nuts. Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it was a great ending. So very, very happy that Cody won. I I'm a Cody stan. I don't care. Feel however you want to feel about it. I don't care if you
Call
think he's.
Call me a crybaby. I'll be that, bro.
Yeah. I don't care if you think he's boring. I don't care if you're turning on him already. I don't care if you don't like that he cries. I don't care about none of that shit. I'm a Cody stan. I'm gonna always support him.
And
I'm
I see
glad
people
that he
saying
got
that.
it.
I see people saying that fans are gonna turn on him. Y'all some cornballs if y'all do that shit. I don't give a fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I'm riding till the wheels fall off. I'm
Listen, bro. If Cody has one fan, it's me, and if Cody has no fans, I'm dead. That's how I'm putting it right there.
There you go. That's some ride or die shit right there.
Yeah,
I'm a ride or die when it comes to Cody Rhodes, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that was WrestleMania. That was my experience there. One of the best weeks of my life. It really was. There was a lot of frustrating stuff just from, so much of like standing around and waiting in lines and all the fanatic shit. But outside of that, I mean, it was 100% everything I wanted it to be. It was the most enjoyable week of my life. It really was.
Oh yeah, man. Glad you had to go, bro. Like I said, we were excited for you.
Yep.
So let's take a look at this real quick, and then we got to make it quick, boys. We got to get to our predictions. We're just going to have to run through them because we're almost done here. But, let's talk about this because,
all green.
All
green.
I mean,
sweep that shit.
I mean, there's a lot of green in my column is all that I'm saying. There's a lot of green there.
Literally, the only thing you got wrong was
hey, you smoked it, bro. Hey, look, and you got to go. You smoked it. This was your year. This was your year.
Thank you. I
don't know how you enjoyed it being so predictable for you.
Well,
like you should have sat there and just been like, I don't know why I even came. I knew what was going to happen the whole time.
Hey, even with that though, I'm only 2 ahead of both of you.
Yeah, dude, it's still super close because we've had a little very small. This is the biggest pay-per-view we had all year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 2 nights, but like. Like Revolution wasn't that big. It was only 9 matches. And so it's been very close this entire year so far.
Right.
There's still a lot more to go. So we'll see.
I pulled ahead though. I pulled ahead because I'm a fucking champion, boys.
You just have the script. That's all it is. You write the stuff. It's kind of it's kind of fucked up. It's like insider trading. You kind of write the script. So it's
a dirt sheet motherfucker, bro.
Yeah, right.
He got an insider, man. I guarantee you. He be out and about rubbing elbows with these motherfuckers, bro. He knows somebody.
That's how he got. That's how he got the rest of
it. Xavier Woods was just texting me on the side. I mean, we're friends. We're old friends. All right.
Old friends.
All right, so the reason that we're on today, because we're not usually on Thursdays, we're usually on Sundays, but this Sunday is AEW Dynasty, and we all want to enjoy it and not have to rush through a podcast, so that's why we're doing it tonight. So we're going to rush through our predictions now because we talked about WrestleMania for nearly 2 hours.
Before we start, how do you guys feel about this pay-per-view going into it?
The same as I feel about every single other pay-per-view. It feels really lackluster. The pay-per-view is going to come, and every match is going to be a banger, and it's going to be really enjoyable. Okay, yeah. I don't even think about that anymore because it's just what I expect from AEW at this point.
That's because
I'll be honest,
with WrestleMania going on, and just everything going on, just with everything going on in wrestling right now. We probably said it before. AEW has been background noise for a minute, but like you said, bro, one thing where they always, almost always deliver on is the pay-per-views. And anytime that I've had a cold spell with AEW, all it took was one pay-per-view for them to roll me right back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that Christian still has the TNT title in the graphic.
It does. It's probably really old. I probably just threw this in there a long time.
Right. It's probably before he lost it.
Yeah, this is definitely like I've always had like a somewhat like excitement for an AEW pay-per-view. This is probably the first time I'm not really that interested or invested. I haven't really been paying attention that closely to AEW, so I really don't understand a lot of what's happening with these matches. And I'm looking online that a lot of these are kind of been rushed. Right. So it's like, like people who are watching are like, this is rushed and all this stuff seems rushed. So I'm not like alone in that feeling, but like, I don't even think I'm going to watch, to be honest with you.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm watching.
Wow.
Why
are we even predicting then?
That's crazy.
Well, I mean, we got a podcast.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Trent
This was like
Beretta is
an
obviously
outside-
going to win this.
Yeah, Trent's going over.
He's got his little heel turn happening.
Mm-hmm.
Which I you know what? I kind of feel like I saw this for a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
Trent, he's good.
Yeah.
Like the guy should be getting a push. Like, I honestly believe that the best friends should have been tag team champions already. Him and Chuck have always been, they've been in AEW since, day one. They always put on good matches. They've always been a mainstay, but they've never been given anything. But maybe it's time, that they break up. Yeah.
I forgot how long I've been watching Trent Beretta wrestle because I told.
Yeah, you remember the Dude Busters?
I was just about to.
You remember the Dude Busters, Con?
Yeah, dog. I smooth forgot about that. I was like, that was him. I was a teenager when that shit was going on.
Yeah. He was really young at the time with WWE. I think he was like 22 years old or something when he debuted in WWE. So it feels like he's been around forever, but I don't even think he's 40 yet.
Hell no, bro.
Yeah.
That's the crazy part too.
Yeah. We're all saying Trent here, right?
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh God, I forgot about this one.
So I don't know. So like I said, AEW's been essentially background noise for me for the most part as of late. But one thing that it's definitely been able to do lately, I don't even really know how it happened, but I'm a big fan of Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty now. Like, I really like them together. I want to see them do more stuff with them. I've been watching Shane Taylor. Like, I remember his Ring of Honor days for sure. But, like, I don't know, bro. Like, I just really like him and Lee Moriarty together.
I have not been seeing a whole lot of them, so I can't really say the same. I mean, I'm still, like, looking at Lee Moriarty as kind of the corny dude that was kind of running around. So, I like
Lee Moriarty a lot.
So,
yeah. I'm not into the whole Shane Taylor promotions thing. Any of them. Anthony Ogogo, he's just like he's been away for forever, so I just don't care about him.
We thought he was fired.
I thought he was gone.
I thought he was gone.
Lee bothers me because I just don't get him. Like he hasn't really been able to show much personality or anything yet, and the fact that he wears a singlet but doesn't wear the straps annoys me. I hate that shit, and I don't get it. I don't get why it's a fashion thing. I don't really get what is Tiger style. Why? Because he got a tiger tattooed on you. So now I just don't get it. And Shane Taylor, he's just so weirdly shaped. I can't get into him. He's very bottom heavy, and it's very distracting.
For the very reasons that you just said you aren't into him, that's actually why I fuck with him.
Okay.
I can't. I'd like. There's like you said with Lee. There's really no logical reason behind why he's doing what he's doing. I just like the presentation like a lot. I really like it. Okay. And I don't know. They just growing on me for some reason. I enjoy seeing them whenever they're out.
Fair enough. I feel like they're starting to get a push for sure, especially adding Anthony Ogogo and making the group bigger. But that being said, I am still going to go with Orange and Shibata here. I just don't see Orange losing to them right now.
No, I don't think so. Especially since this past
or Shibata.
Well, no, because
Shibata's been losing a lot lately, to be honest. But I just don't see Orange dropping it.
On top of that, Cass and Shane wrestled last night. Shane beat him, so I wouldn't expect to see him to beat him 2 nights in a well, not in a row, but like 2 consecutive matches.
We all saying Orange and Shibata.
I'm saying OC. Yeah.
I'll say Orange and Shibata.
What were you about to say, Nick?
I was asking what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Whoa boy. This is gonna be a match right here.
This is gonna be match of the year candidate for sure, bro.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where to go with this. I'm be honest. I don't know how to call this one. I could see both of them winning. I could see both of them losing. It seems to me like they're kind of doing a thing where they're going to try to break Will away from the Don Callis family. He's not agreeing with the things that they're doing. So I could almost see him dropping this because the Don Callis family gets involved and causes him to lose.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side of me says, well, Danielson's putting everybody over. Will's, the new, top superstar in AEW is probably not going to lose. So I'm not really sure. I'm going to be honest though. I'm going to say Will loses this one. And I'm going to say it because the Don Callis family gets involved because we need to get him away from that group, and it seems like it's building to that right now with this specific storyline. So I'm going to say Danielson wins.
I'm probably going to say the opposite. I like the other theory you had of just like, I think Danielson's putting over people, and I think Will is probably like our future world champion here comes soon. So I think you kind of really need to make him look good in front of America, even though he's been on AEW plenty of times and has looked very good, but like he's actually here now. So I think you got to kind of make him, look the way he's supposed to look. And so I think he's going to take the win here.
God.
I think I'm with Ham. I think I got Danielson beating him this time for the reasons that Hambone said, but also I don't know how much time Danielson has left because he's been talking about retiring soon. But I believe that this ain't gonna be the first time they go against each other, or this isn't going to be the last time. Excuse me. I don't think this is going to be the last time we see them go against each other. I could actually see this becoming a series the same way it was a series with him and Kenny Omega. I could totally see that just because of who they are in the in the wrestling world. Like, this is a big fucking deal of a match. Like, even just looking at this is gonna. I really do think this is gonna be match of the year candidate. Yeah. So, I mean, another reason why I don't necessarily got a dog in this fight is because I like them both. And again, I just think that they're going to run it back. So I think that if they run it back, it really, to me, it don't matter who wins. But if you asking me to pick, I think Danielson's going to take it.
All right, Nick's the honor, and let's get through this.
My bad. I've been tired all fucking day.
Young Bucks are winning this, right? I mean, that's where this is going. They got to do that to continue the heel.
Do we care about this match? Do we care about this match?
I don't.
Not really.
I don't care about anything about the Bucks, bro.
I love both of these teams, but for me right now, they're both kind of cold.
I've seen this match already. Like
we've seen it a lot. Yeah.
Like, take the bullshit that we've seen from them recently out of it. When I originally saw like them set this match up, it was just like we're not dumb. We know it's gonna cook, but it's just like we've seen this. You know what I mean? So like it just don't have that feeling it had like the first maybe 1 or 2 times we've seen them go at it.
It is a ladder match, so maybe it's a little different. But even then, like,
it's gonna be a good match regardless. But I can take it or leave it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm saying the Bucks.
I'll say the Bucks.
Yeah, I'll probably say Bucks too.
I'll say the Bucks.
And to me, like, it doesn't really like. You might as well just had Bucks beat Sting anyway. But I mean, here we are.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why do we even do this if the Bucks are going to win it? But
well, again, I mean, Sting didn't want to win. That was Tony.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, so you did all that just to do what Sting wanted to do anyway.
Right.
Like, I don't understand. But it's fine. This might be awesome.
I would love it to be Willow. You guys know Willow is my girl. She's my favorite women's wrestler right now, outside of Rhea. But I just don't think they're gonna do it. I would love for it to happen, but I think Julia retains.
I feel like they're building more towards Julia versus Mercedes right now.
Yeah,
am I off for that? Like, I
don't know. I feel like they're definitely teasing Willow and Mercedes again too.
Yeah, but Mercedes has been kind of defending Willow.
Well, but she's doing it side eyeing her too.
I honestly think that Mercedes might cost Willow this match. I think so.
I can see that too. Yep.
Because I don't know, just every time I see them together, you could just obviously just like feel that there's tension more so on Mercedes side of things. So I could picture Mercedes being the reason why Willow doesn't win this match.
I could see that.
Yeah, I could definitely see that too. We're all saying Julia then.
Yeah,
I'm saying Julia. Yeah, I don't think it's Willow's night.
Fortunately, I would like to see Willow with some type of gold though.
This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a nutty ass match.
Yeah. I'm gonna say House of Black wins this. I think that we're gonna see, with Mark having beat Eddie, and especially after Eddie lost the Continental title too. I think Eddie might turn heel here. I think he might cost them the match by turning on Jay or getting angry at some point and snapping because he's lost all his belts now. So I'm going to say House of Black because I think that's what's going to happen. And I also think that we're definitely going to see more of this story between House of Black and Copeland. And I think for that to happen, House of Black has to win this one.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be some discourse coming from Cope's team. I definitely think so too. The Eddie heel turn is a nice twist. I didn't think about that, but it could definitely happen. But yeah, I think House of Black is taking this because it looks like they're just now kind of just getting the ball rolling with this whole storyline with them and Copeland. And like you said, I think the only way the story furthers is if House of Black beats them.
Right.
So I'm rocking with House of Black for the same reason.
Yeah, I think I'm also going House of Black. I would like to see. I mean, Copeland created Judgment Day. Can he do something to kind of counteract House of Black here? Like create another faction, maybe? I mean,
I don't know if I want to see him in a faction right now.
I don't know what I want to see out of him, to be honest with you.
I don't either.
I'm liking whatever they're giving me because, like,
that match he had with Penta, I was so happy we got that.
So it's like him as TNT champion is really cool, but it's like the House of Black kind of like you don't have a team. Like you got to kind of have a team. That's not how I feel. Just on paper, like if you're going after a team, you gotta have to kind of have a team, and you don't have one right now. So it's like, are you gonna build a team? Like, him and the fucking Righteous might be fire. I don't know though. But that would fucking counter House of Black very nicely too. I feel like So maybe I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm going House of Black.
I got Thunder Rosa.
I think Thunder might take it too. I think this might be the end of this reign for Tony. Thunder was away for a very long time, but before that, she was clearly one of the top women.
She was champion.
Yeah. So I think that this is the end for Tony, and I think we're gonna move into Tony versus Mariah after this. That's what's coming.
Yeah. They've been building that shit forever. Yeah, I'm also gonna say Thunder Rosa.
Oh, Okada.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see Okada losing yet, especially not the title that he just won. Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I got Okada one. I think they're trying to. I think they're still trying to tell the story with him and the Bucks, and I think that them having all the titles, all the gold, but just having less titles right now. I think they're going to keep that up a little bit longer.
Yeah,
true shit. Yeah, I'm with that. Nice.
But this match is going to go crazy.
Yeah, it is.
That match is going to go nuts.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, this is going to go crazy too.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Roddy loses it already though. So
no.
Yeah,
Kyle just got back.
Yeah. He's Kyle. Like he just got back. You can tell that he's got some ring rust on him. You can tell he's not like 100% to where he was before. Like you can very much see the difference in his arms. One of them is clearly very atrophied compared to the other one. So I don't see Kyle getting title and carrying something like that yet. So
no, not yet. Especially not right now.
God, I don't care.
I don't care.
But I'm gonna say Hook. Because Jericho does like to put people over. I'll at least get him that. But good fucking God, would he go away? Please go away.
Honestly, would both of them go away? They're not doing fucking anything with Hook, bro. Like, I really thought they could really do something with Hook in the beginning. But, as of right now, I could give two shits about Hook, bro. I don't care about Hook. They're booking him terribly.
Yeah. Especially, again, honestly, he's got a title that doesn't mean anything. We just talked about how we don't like that. He's just doing the same shit all the time. And it's just not entertaining. But you know what I really realized with this? There was a while, especially after the allegations with Jericho came out where I can't believe that the fans are still behind him. But I really realized with this feud that they're not. They just want to sing Judas. As soon as he switched music for this Lionheart character, crowd is dead for him every time he comes out. Everybody's sick of him. We are tired of him. He needs to go away. He has been overexposed. He has to go away from him.
Know how I feel about him.
Go on tour or something, bro. 3 to 6 months at least.
Yeah. Take Hook with you. Since you like Hook so damn much. Take fucking Hook with you, bro.
Hey, did
and honestly,
you?
like the thing they did last night where Taz was in the ring with them, I genuinely thought like if Taz came back into Hook's fucking story, like I think that would actually be really cool. Like if Taz became a manager again, but like even then, I'm just like,
I think even deeper than that. I think what would have done it for me is if Taz, he's Hook's son. If we actually saw Taz, somewhere in this feud, like,
right.
Like, see a side of him we haven't seen. Taz, the father. You know what I mean? I think I would have been a little more interested if we saw something like that, but like, I don't care.
Yeah. I think in or out of this feud, just in general for Hook's career, I think having Taz as your fucking manager and as your fucking dad is just a fucking slam dunk for story wise. Like, and we're just not doing anything with it. Like, we're just keeping Taz on commentary, and that could be Taz's choice, and maybe it's Hook's choice too. But it's like, clearly what's going on is not working for you. So maybe you just tried a nice hand.
I was actually kind of surprised when I was watching the segment yesterday, seeing Taz do something like physical. That surprised me. It's like,
with his neck.
Because he hasn't done shit physical, since then. So that surprised me. But yeah, I'm with Nick. It would be cool to see Taz be incorporated in the storyline more, being Hook's father.
I like Team Taz.
I'm gonna tell you guys that you better get used to and get on the Hook train, because I would bet money that he's in WWE by the end of the year.
I wouldn't put it past him.
WWE
NXT, please.
WWE has. There's been rumors that they have interest in him, and Hook did a interview recently where he said that his contract is up with AEW this year, and he is open to exploring free agency, which means he's going to WWE. He'll be in NXT by the end of the year.
Bro, if I'm Hook and I feel like I've been booked shitty, yes, I would want to jump ship. I mean, that depends on how he feels about it. If this is what he wants to do, then sure. But this is not like what they were doing in the early days for Hook was actually, I feel like, was working. Like, and then they got his Action Bronson thing going, and then after that, like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, and so it's
like,
Taz,
I feel like Action Bronson, he had all that.
Oh yeah, these early days were fucking dope, and then it's just nothing, bro. And if I'm him and I feel like I've been booked like shit, and Taz is my fucking dad, and he's probably telling me the same thing, I'm out of here, bro.
Yeah. It's funny. I was thinking the other day that the trios titles, they were a cool thing before they got retired, and then I remembered that they hadn't been retired. They just aren't on TV ever or ever defended or used. I'm gonna say the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass here, because this feud needs to end.
I'm over this, bro.
It's been going on for too long.
I'm good on it. I never wanted to see them together. Number fucking one. I was so good on that. I just don't care to see them do shit together at this point.
Yeah. I love everybody in this match. I'm tired of this feud though. And they both need to move on to other shit. So
this is of course it's on fucking 0 hour. I didn't even fucking see. My thing with the fucking Acclaimed is they're always on a fucking 0 hour buy-in. It's like I've so cooled off the Acclaimed, especially after like fucking Max Caster being a fucking asshole. Like,
he's a fucking loser for that shit.
He's a fucking loser, bro. So like, I'm over Max Caster. I'm over the Acclaimed. I'm over investing any sort of fandom and time into them.
What did Max do this time? I know he's done a lot of stupid shit, but what are we talking about exactly here? That
the night
I feel
that
like I heard
Mercedes debuted, the night that she debuted, he takes a photo with Sammy Guevara, and he posted. He goes, "I met Sammy Guevara. He's actually a really nice guy."
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
whatever.
For the fuck what?
It was just weird.
This dude just
a weirdo.
Digging himself a hole. Like he's just always doing some shit that's too far.
I think he thinks he's being edgy. I genuinely think he.
Yeah. Oh no, he absolutely does. 100%.
It was
every time he gets in trouble for this shit, it's because he thinks he's being edgy, and he's really just kind of being a douchebag.
There was something else too, where Cedric Alexander was like, "Would you guys want to see Cedric Alexander in AEW or something like that?" And he was like, "Keep him."
Oh yeah,
something like that. I was like, "Bro, you're not fucking cool, bro." Like,
yeah. It is crazy though to see I've brought this up a million times. AEW, Tony Khan, king of the cool-offs, because the Acclaimed were the hottest fucking thing on the roster for a very long time, and just they're nothing now. They're barely on TV. Nobody really cares. They're over the act now, all because of the way they've been presented. But yeah, I'm going with Acclaimed and Daddy Ass here.
I'm picking Bullet Club Gold just because, again, I'm overly acclaimed, and I genuinely think that the fucking guns are more interesting at this point. Honestly, I don't like the Acclaimed have done nothing.
Have you guys
the MGF story and all that shit?
Have you guys noticed that AEW has very slowly been dropping everything associated with Bullet Club? They took the music away. They took the logos off of their Tron video. I don't remember the last time that they have referred to themselves as Bullet Club Gold. They always call themselves Bang Bang Gang. I think they're like slowly phasing that out to get away from it.
Well, they finally fucking listened to us after a year and a half.
Right? We don't need Bullet Club all the time.
I don't care about Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah, drop it.
Yeah, Bang Bang Gang's such a cooler name in my opinion.
Yeah. Who are you going with?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna rock with Bullet Club too.
Okay.
Yeah. Bang Bang Gang, but okay.
Bang Bang.
I hate that fucking name.
It's better than Bullet Club Gold. Let's strive off something that doesn't fucking matter.
It's not.
I think it is.
Nah, it's a cool name. It's a fire name.
Samoa Joe. This has got to be Swerve's time, right?
I don't think so.
Really?
I don't know, man. I kind of think, here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think that Joe's losing it yet, right? So I think that Joe wins. But the reason that I think he wins is because I think that Swerve is going to get screwed out of the title by a returning MJF.
Oh.
Especially with the Dynasty thing. MJF's group in MLW was the Dynasty.
Didn't even think about that.
Kind of.
Wow.
Kind of telling us, I feel like, a little bit. So I think MJF is going to come back and maybe screw Swerve. Maybe, which is going to be wild because, like, we're just letting go, your shit with the Undisputed Kingdom. But I think that might be where it's going. We're going to turn MJF back heel, and he's going to be pissed off about the fact that he lost his title. He's going to be pissed off about the fact that Swerve is now AEW fans' favorite. When he did so much work to win him over and all that. So I think that's where this is going to go.
Plus, not to mention, I think it was like right before Max, took the hiatus. We saw that exchange between them. Remember that? They were just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yep.
I can see it.
So that's what I think is happening. Joe's going to win because MJF is going to return, interfere, and cost Swerve the title.
It just sucks that Swerve's going to lose twice on pay-per-view.
I don't want to see that.
I don't either.
I think that Swerve is going to win this title, but I don't think it's going to happen until WrestleDream when they're in Seattle, where he's from and really built his career. They'll do it there, and that's when he wins.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still saying Swerve just because I feel like it's just I think it's Swerve's time right now. I really think he's probably the best act right now that's in AEW. Also, it's really funny that you mentioned Undisputed Kingdom because. Again, I have not been paying that much attention to AEW in the last couple of weeks. Where the fuck have they been?
They ain't doing shit.
What the fuck are they
doing? Shit.
Bro,
I ain't seen Adam Cole in weeks. I ain't seen Wardlow in weeks. The Kingdom shows up every now and then to do a tag team match. There's nothing happening with it. Roddy is there, but there's just nothing happening with that group. But it was kind of hard when the whole group was built around screwing over MJF, and then MJF's gone.
Yeah. Why would you create a faction based off a guy that's not going to be here for 4 months? That doesn't make any. You knew he was going away. Why would this story be like? I'm assuming they knew he was going to take some time off, but when he dropped the title, why?
You're talking about Max. You're talking about Max.
You're talking about Max. Yeah. Why would you make an entire faction solely based around getting after Max and not have him around?
So I think
my thing was I felt like they could have probably kept something going with it had Cole not gotten injured. Right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say.
I felt like
that was their plan. They knew MJF was going to leave, but hey, Adam Cole will be here to wrestle and he'll carry the storyline until Max comes back. Yeah, and then Adam got hurt and they were too deep in the storyline to change what they were going to do with it.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I agree with you, Con.
They weren't anticipating Cole getting injured.
Probably not.
Right.
Con, who you saying?
I ain't gonna lie, because like Ham is really good at spinning me with shit like this. Like that's it's just the logical shit. No, like all jokes aside, that's the logical shit. Yeah. And Tony Khan being Tony Khan, that's some shit he would do. Is be like, okay, we're gonna have him win this since we about to be in his hometown anyway. So I'll rock with Joe. I'll say Joe wins it because I do believe that Swerve is going to get it at some point.
Yeah, I will agree with what Khan just said because I do come in here kind of thinking what I think my prediction is going to be, and then one of you guys will say something. I'll be like, I didn't think of it like that, and it's most of the time it's Hambone just because he's always thinking like those like kind of like the whole way through it, and I'm just like, damn, I didn't even think about MJF coming back and screwing up Swerve or anything like that. I was like, okay, well that makes sense. I'm still going Swerve even though, but still, that shit happens a lot.
I'm rocking Joe. There's just too many factors that Ham named off where it's like that could happen.
Yeah.
I can also see MJF coming back and screwing up Joe because Joe took it off of him.
That too.
But
so
I can
that's
see the story being bigger on Swerve's end though.
Right.
So.
And not only that, I feel like part of the thing with Max is going to be I'm going to screw over Swerve because he took my spot, but also I'm fucking taking that title back from Joe. I'm not having the guy who beat me get beat by somebody else and take that title. I'm going to go out and beat him.
Because there's definitely unfinished business between him and Joe.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'm so glad that you brought up the Playboy Cardi shit last night, Con, because it finally makes sense to me, and now it doesn't annoy me anymore. Now I get it. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, like because I didn't like it at first. I was just like, why are you fucking doing that? But he did an interview, and like I said, he said, he was influenced by rappers. He said, Playboy Cardi, in fact, does do that. So I was just like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense now, and now it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah,
it only bothered me because I didn't get why.
I didn't get it either.
It just came out of nowhere, and I just didn't get why.
Yeah, I literally just took it as something you did. I didn't even think about it. It was just. Okay,
I mean, you were kind of calling me a homophobe last night, though. I mean, you didn't really just come out and say it, but you were insinuating it.
I don't know if I was using that word or anything, but
that's why I said you didn't just come out and say it, but you were insinuating pretty fucking hard.
You seemed very, conservative angry as to why a man was wearing eyeliner. It was very conservative angry. But it wasn't eyeliner, it was full on. I just didn't understand your attitude towards that. Makeup. Why is he wearing eyeliner?
Well, I don't care what you wear. If you're a man and you want to wear makeup, baby, go for it.
On this one because he wasn't wearing it before, and then one day
he
wasn't.
Had it on
there.
I had the same questions, like what is that?
Yeah. If he just came out and said, "Hey, I just decided that I wanted to start wearing makeup," and it had nothing to do with Playboy Cardi, I'd be like, "All right, well, at least I know why." Now I get it.
It's true.
I just want to
know where it came from. That was my thing. It's like, where is this coming from?
No, it's funny because when you thought I was calling you out, I was like, "That's what he was."
I knew you were just fucking. No, I knew you were just fucking around, bro. I was like, no. I didn't think at all that you were accusing me of that. I knew you were just fucking. Yeah.
Just saying things.
All right, so those are our predictions for Dynasty this Sunday. We're kind of a part-time podcast here, so we're not going to be on Sunday because we're going to be watching Dynasty. That's why we did tonight, and then we're not going to be on the week after that. After just taking 3 weeks off because it is Nick's birthday and he is going on a trip. So
Con's coming with me.
You get us when you get us, okay? And we want you to, at the times you do get us, we want you to really fucking drink it in because who knows when we're going to come on next, we got fucking lives, okay? We got fucking lives, so drink it in, man. Yeah. When you get it, drink it in. When you get a big fucking tall glass of Freebird Rules juice, I want you to down it, and I want you to enjoy it.
We don't just give that out either.
We don't. I don't just fucking give my juice out all willy nilly to anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no. You gotta have the juice to get this juice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
See what he said. That's what I was thinking, but he just put it into words for me.
You think it? I say it, man.
Yeah. You guys know what I'm doing next week? I'm going to a Biggie tribute show.
Are you really?
In New York. You live in New York.
That's true.
And so next Friday night, I'm going to a Biggie tribute show. And then the next day, on Saturday, I am going out to Rochester to go see The Last Match, which is a rock musical about professional wrestling starring Mickey James.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
I did not know that was a thing. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, they're just starting to do shows. They're doing like 9 straight in Rochester, but then they're going and touring with it. But yeah,
Nice.
Mickey James is starring in it. She's the main person in it. Mackenzie Mitchell from NXT, she's involved in it.
Okay.
And then a couple other people, like a lot of people might not remember or recognize these names, but Bull James and Manu, they are
Jesus,
choreographers
Manu?
for it. They're choreographers for it.
You say
Mm.
Manu.
Yes, sir. Manu.
Wow,
Well,
Yeah.
but yeah, so we won't be here this Sunday. We won't be here next Sunday.
Mm.
We'll see if we're there the Sunday after. Who knows what'll come up?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, it'll be Cinco
We'll be
de
back
Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we're all gonna be drunk on life. You know,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows what'll happen?
We're gonna get tacos.
We'll let you know. Stay tuned to the social medias. They're all down there. I'm not gonna tell you what they are. They're all down there. Fucking read. Go follow us everywhere. We will see you
TikTok,
next time we're on,
YouTube.
whatever that is. So
Cinco
keep
de
it
Mayo.
kinky, Marks.